Hey guys, welcome back to the International 3 group stages. We are about to prepare for the biggest match of the day. It is going to be Alliance versus Tongfu.
Yes, Alliance, the only undefeated team left in this tournament, and Tongfu 4-2, a respectable score. And this is actually the matchup that I've actually been looking forward to, because these are the two people I thought would finish at the top of this group.
Yeah, I thought Tongfu would do very well going into the tournament as well, and Alliance hasn't even lost a game yet. If there's any team that can do it in Group B, I think Tongfu definitely has the best shot. I think maybe Liquid has a chance of doing it later, but I am not so sure, honestly. I think Alliance is I think they have a pretty good chance of going undefeated.
Yeah, I think Alliance against most of the West teams is actually confident, with the exception of Mao's. They actually drop quite a bit more games to Mao's than I figured, but they actually haven't played Tongfu yet. I'm sure they've done their research, and there's a lot of information out for Tongfu out on Alliance, because Alliance has played so many games.
That's true.
But we'll just... Do we have time to run over
Yes.
the lineups? Okay,
Yes.
so we'll quickly run over the lineups. So for Alliance, we have Loda, Jonathan Berg out of Sweden, this entire team being Swedish, playing the one position for Alliance. 2, we have S4, the captain and the picker as well. Fantastic player. And playing the 3 role, we've got Admiral Bulldog, famous for the Lone Druid, the Bounty Hunter, and the Nature's Prophet. We've got Ake playing the 4 role for Team Alliance. And last but not least, we have EGM or Dooney playing the 5 role.
Give me those fantasy points, Dooney.
Dooney's the best.
He's actually the best at work.
He really is.
Yeah, he had like 25.
And if
20,
Kevin, you
22 points.
introduce
Alright, and
Tongfu?
this is the team they're up against. Tongfu going to try to take at least one game off of them. Got Hao on the 1 position, playing the hard carry role. Second position is going to be Mu. He will be playing in the All-Star match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then we have King J coming up for the offlane. Really talented offlane player there. Their 4th is going to be Banana. Definitely one of the best supports in the entire tournament. I
Oh,
did
easily.
actually pick him for my fantasy draft because he was playing so well in the other tournaments that we watched. And Sansheng, arguably maybe the weakest player on Tongfu, but still is very talented.
Yes. So, about to hop in this match. Quick predictions for you. What do you think is going to...
I'm going to say Alliance 2-0. I think Tongfu has a pretty good chance of taking some games off, but I would be really surprised if they took a 2-0. I just, honestly, Alliance is my pick for winning the whole tournament, so I think Alliance can be able to take this.
Yeah, same for me. I'm a bit biased, but I'll also go Alliance 2-0.
Extremely biased. Don't
Extremely
even
biased,
sugarcoat
because
this.
I used to play with EGM.
He's
on
like
Turtle.
honestly probably the biggest Alliance fanboy out of anyone who's ever touched a microphone.
Yes.
But in his defense, he's been always
Yeah,
right.
I've
about,
always been for a
he's
while.
right about
Yeah,
Alienware
you've
Cup.
always been a
you know.
fanboy.
Yeah.
It's okay though. You're a fan of a winning team, so it looks good for him. Lumi, your prediction?
R.I.P. China. We're done.
I still believe. I'm keeping the faith.
I
Burning
have-
your soul.
What does that mean? 1-1 or?
I think 1-1 is possible. I'll say 1-1. I think it's 50-50, 1-1, 2-0.
You know
Cop
the
out.
biggest regret today so far is
You sh
I
oh my God.
removed Extinct.
It's not a cop-out. I said 1-1.
You just did what you flamed me for earlier, you
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
You're supposed to go 2-0 one way or another.
You
So if
gave
you're
me
going
math.
1-1,
Oh
we're taking
my
this as a
God.
Tongfu.
I'll do whatever I want. I'll do what I please. All right, so
Yeah.
your prediction? 2-0. Rip in pieces, China.
1-1 Tongfu.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Alliance versus Tongfu, East versus West, China versus Sweden. It all goes down now. Game 1's underway. Let's hop into it.
Well, we got a game 1. Alchemist. Let's go. Game 2. Because goddamn, like when you have Alchemist Grievel's Grief Farm, game was nice. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tongfu first pick. If it's that solo mid-alch, though, the solo mid-alch has been rather dubious for the Chinese
Just
team.
hashtag Snake King. And go game 1, Alchemist Shadowblade.
Let's see what Alliance do in response, though. They won't get access to the Wisp, but the Bulldog Lone Druid's been left in the pool. That always seems to be a problem. Does Tongfu have will they have a solution for it?
They
'Cause
better have one.
We saw IG left the Lone Druid in the pool. They got 2-0'd by Alliance, and generally generally banning out Bulldog seems to be the most effective strategy versus this team. That's how most teams beat Alliance, but Bulldog hasn't been banned out.
Also, if you run the Alchemist on a solo mid position, you left yourself to be completely open compared to a, what's that here? Timbersaw. Timbersaw has been seeing a lot of draft. S4 has been, I guess, the pioneer, if you will call it that. And he, in a 1v1 matchup, I think Alchemist gets completely owned by Timbersaw. Alliance taking quite a bit of time. Treant,
There's an OD. There's a
motherfucking
Weaver.
protector.
There's an OD. There's a Weaver. Where are they going with this?
Oh god, this makes me sick. This Treant protector.
There is acid spray though. Acid spray is great against living
I
armor.
guess so.
Completely removes it.
Alright, if Tongfu doesn't go full Rattlesnake mode, go Bloodseeker and Warlock to counter Treant, I think we'll be okay.
Don't go Bloodseeker. Never go full Bloodseeker. Never go Bloodseeker at all.
Well, All right, there is a tree and protected Weaver. So, is this gonna be Loda's hero? I think I've seen Loda playing it today.
I'd like to see a Rubik here. Could steal living armor. You're probably going to get a pretty fast level 6. Alliance, fairly passive support in the Treant. You steal Sakuchi, and you've got that lift against Weaver.
Yeah, I mean, if you still living armor, like
Or
that, then you're done.
Then you've got Tree and you've got Rubik.
Yeah, there you
How
go.
can you lose?
I actually like that pick quite a bit. They're gonna go Shadow Demon, so a very defensive support. Maybe
It is a cute combo. Disruption into Alk Stun, and with Soul Catcher, that is like a guaranteed kill if you can catch someone.
at the same time, I would rather have a support that has a real stun by itself, like a Rubik. So
It's interesting to see this from Alliance though, because they had access to Bulldog's Lone Druid or Prophet, and they skipped both.
yeah, and Tongfu
And
banned out in
now
second
he'll
stage.
almost certainly get banned out.
So I mean, does this send send a message to Alliance saying, hey, if you want that Lone Druid, you have to pick it up a little bit early? And is he actually worth the?
Well, I think what Alliance is saying is Bulldog's versatile. You're underestimating him. We don't need to go for his Lone Druid Prophet here. We're going to show you another style now, and we're going to beat you with it.
Okay,
That's what
fair
Alliance is telling me.
Well,
I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's what they're saying.
we're gonna see him play Prophet. Is that what he's saying? He's like, we'll pick Prophet
No, I
later.
think Prophet gets banned here.
Yeah, either by Tongfu or Alliance. Because I'm pretty sure one of these teams looking to pick it up. OD gets banned out here, so no OD tree.
Yeah,
there's a
that's
Prophet
an
ban.
easy ban from Tongfu. That was obvious.
I mean, you're still dealing with S4 on the mid lane here, which Puck is amazing for him. Queen of Pain's amazing for him. I talked about the Timbersaw, which he has. I'm not sure what he has played so far. And of course, let's not forget about the Magnus. The Son of Magnus.
No, I don't think it'll be Magnus this game, because you already have a very passive support in the Treant. I think this is where you'd go for the Puck, the Queen of Pain, the TA.
Okay.
Someone that gets stuff done and can be aggressive. Timbersaw, perhaps as well.
I mean, they definitely help, or they definitely works well with the Living Armor because they could dive quite a bit. Puck
Yeah.
as well as Queen of Pain.
Because, I mean, you look at this for Bulldog, who's he going to play after Prophet and Lone Druid get banned? Probably Bounty
Bounty
Hunter.
Hunter, yeah.
Bounty Hunter's the next one in line, which means that puts Loda on the Weaver. So if you get a very passive kind of defensive mid like Magnus, I think that heavily favors Tongfu.
Yeah, but actually, before we talk about any more draft here, they banned out the Darkseer themselves. They could have had Darkseer being played by
Bulldog, Darkseer.
Bulldog, yeah. So
Darkseer doesn't fare that well against Alk Shadow Demon. He has to go jungle.
yeah, that's
Even
fair.
with living armor, he's going to die to Acid Spray and the combo.
But before we talk about the next pickup, how do you think about Weaver in terms of in this tournament so far on the meteor rise? I mean, he was always a very stable pick by certain teams like Tongfu. DK used it from time to time. But now he's like a second pick. What do you think about this hero overall?
I think Weaver's a pretty strong pick. I don't think he's imbalanced. In the right scenario, he's almost impossible to deal with. But already Tongfu have good initiation with the disruption. The one problem I have with their lineup is they don't have just an actual instant disable. The unstable concoction is travel time. Disruption is not really a stun. Again, they could have gone for Rubik, who can also steal Sakuchi, but having gone for Shadow Demon, I doubt we're going to see that. So they just don't have that best instant lockdown, and that is always a concern against Weaver. But they have 3 more picks here. You know, there's still things like, I don't know, Storm Spirits in the pool. I don't know if you go for him this game, but there's
Not
lots,
against a tree. It's hard.
there's a Puck. I mean, there's lots of other instant disablers still available that they could choose to go for.
I mean, there are some, but at the same time, you're dealing with 2 Invis Hero, or 3 Invis Hero if you count Tree and Protector as one. There's another support that doesn't really have stuns. I'm very worried for Tongfu right now because Bounty Hunter or Weaver, these are heroes that also go BKB. So that limits your option if you're solo mid. Pug's not going to do well, 40 minutes in the game. Queen of Pain is going to have her early successes. She's not going to do well late game either. So I'm very, very worried. Now, Dragonite's still in the pool.
Late game's not an issue for them. They have Alk. And
Well,
Alk we trust.
if he ever catches anybody, right? So, I mean, you're also working with a ton of minus armor already from Weaver. Alliance known to pick Templar Assassin quite a bit. That's another big bulk of minus armor. And can you imagine a Templar Assassin plus Tree and Protector diving you under the tower? It's very, very hard to deal with that kind of stuff. So, Tongfu should be very, very careful of the early game.
Oh, there's Acid Spray. TA does not want to dive against Acid Spray. No refraction, no living armor, gone within seconds. So I think if the Alk's mid, that won't be happening. Tongfu, though, with the Enchantress pick, they put a lot of pressure on their early game. This is a strong dual roaming combo. The Bounty Hunter is a hero you can catch with these two. Treant is a pretty inactive support, so you know he's not going to be ganking a lot. They'll go now for a Crystal Maiden. Maybe they actually want to go some sort of aggressive dual lane or even just a roaming CM. Treant doing some jungle pulls. Tongfu, they'll go safe, they'll go stable, and they'll get a hero that can build an Orchid and a Scythe. They'll get the Queen of Pain. I think Puck might have been a little bit stronger here. He's a little bit harder to kill, and he gives you the lockdown, which they're lacking. Now their lockdown is heavily item dependent.
I mean, Puck, it's a little bit weaker to the living armor as well. because
That's
Queen of Pain give you a way to at least take off a couple of charges. I think it's okay. I mean, Queen of Pain might be forced to go into a quick BKB depending on how the game goes. Overgrowth as well as Crystal Maiden Stun is a way to lock down that Queen of Pain, but you could BKB right out of both of them. So depending on how the early game goes, she might be forced into a lot more defensive of an item. Again, I'm not being wand over right now for Tongfu's draft. Let's see if they have something special with their last pick.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, Alliance have no team fight. They have a lineup that's entirely built around snowballing, Weaver and Bounty Hunter.
They're 6-0. They can draft whatever they want until they actually drop a game. We can't say anything.
I'm not convinced by this lineup yet.
Okay.
You can't tower dive Tongfu. They've got mass AoE. They've got great defensive abilities. Their Bounty Hunter's not necessarily going to do that well against a strong defensive tri-lane. I mean, I think the Queen of Pain pick actually shores things up a lot. Still, Alliance, yeah, they're the favorites, but based on the draft, I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
They're the Alliance.
Yeah, I don't know.
The French team's strong.
I am a little surprised that they skipped on the Bulldog,
Bear.
the Lone Druid, as well as Prophet.
Well, there is a puck being banned out here, so that should give Queen of Pain a fairly good matchup no matter who she's facing up against. And that's very important against S4. S4 is definitely...
The Swedes have arrived, by the way. They've
Swedes?
invaded the stream chat.
Oh my goodness.
I think that's Swedish.
And I just called their team French, because... Oh, there you go. As expected, Timbersaw...
Okay, this I like a lot, because when you have a support that doesn't scale in CM, you have an offlaner who's more of a utility hero and the Bounty Hunter, and you've got not a hard carry for Loda. You want a mid that does a lot of damage and can get a lot done in the mid game, and now they've got it.
So going back to your question, where's their team fight? Where's their push?
There you go.
There's Timbersaw.
That's for Timbersaw.
One hero is going to do all, because if Alliance ever take one of the tier 1 towers, the access into jungle will allow Timbersaw just to massively crazy thing. When you have supports like Shadow Demon and Holy Food to that Timbersaw, that's why you need better stuns, that's why you need better burst damage, and they just don't have it against Timbersaw. So I am definitely afraid. RIP China. RIP China.
Do you just want to sit this one out, Lumi? Because the game's obviously over, so we probably shouldn't bother casting it.
Like,
you can just go take a nap.
If I'm sitting one out, I'm like, I'll be biting my nails. I'll be like...
No, the game's decided, so there's nothing to get stressed out about.
You know, the draft is 70% of the game.
Tongfu lost.
All right, there's a Magnus
Game's
pickup.
over. No need to cast this one. They go for Magnus, but that won't matter because they're gonna lose.
Pretty much.
Jesus, you're such a negative Nancy. They'll get the King J Magnus here. Generally, he's the offlane player though, and offlane Magnus would be a little bit awkward for them. So maybe they're looking at an aggressive tri-lane with this Alchemist, but. Who does Magnus do well against here? Magnus
does do well against a lane that doesn't kill him, right? Tree, what are you going to do? Walk up and hit him? And Crystal Maiden is a joke, right? And, well,
Crystal Maiden Weaver can kill a mag.
He has Skewer. He should be okay. I mean...
If he leaves his tower.
King J is also the king of going negative on Clockwork on the long lane, so I don't know about that, but...
I think this mag pick is honestly quite greedy here. Like, to get such a weak laning hero against a lineup that is Living Armor, Weaver, and Timbersaw, and Bounty Hunter. I mean, with Living Armor, I'd say anyone can beat this Magnus.
I mean, they're going for the late game, right? The Empower on your Alchemist, How is just going to basically carry as hard as possible. So, I kind of get the idea of this particular pickup. It's a hero that sure has a weak laning stage, give you the powerful mid game with the RP, give you the powerful late game with Empower, so I could buy it.
So they might forfeit some laning advantage here, but you think in Turtle we trust?
In Turtle we trust, yeah. I mean, Acid Spray, Screen of Pains, things of that. And again, traditionally...
Hold that thought. We have a result.
We've got a result, yeah. LGD just won a game against Fnatic.
Told you. 1-1. Called that shit. Boom. In your face.
RIP China. We're still done.
You're still done?
We're still done.
1-1 Fnatic, who was 5-1 on day one. Doesn't matter.
What's the score right now? Are they 4-4? LG China?
Yeah, 1-4-4. They've played most of the tough teams, though. Only team they have left to play that's like the top teams in the group is Navi. So they should have 2 easy.
Oh, that's a walkover.
They should 4-0 their other 2 games. They'll be 8-4 at the end of today.
So with Dignitas at 6-2.
Yeah.
With
Dignitas
Navi
still has to. Who does Dignitas still have to play?
Well, I have that schedule right in front
Dignitas
of
has
me.
to play Team Zenith.
Team Zenith?
They should be able to beat 2-0 if they... I don't know. The Zenith took a game off of LGD.
Well, again, LGD is just...
Can they 2-0 Zenith? If they can, they're in really good shape. If they get one more 2-0, Dignitas should be locked to advance.
I don't think they
top
could
4.
finish... I don't think they could 2-0 Zenith, and they definitely are not going to 2-0 Navi.
Yeah, I mean that was the thing for Dignitas day one is they played LGD, they played that one, or sorry, DK, they played that one really tough team, but there's still quite a few left for them.
Well, we'll talk about that in between games a little bit later on. We're right back. Tongfu on the Radiant side. Heroes are being picked up here. We have Banana playing that Enchantress, Shansheng on the support, Shadow Demon, Mu on the Crystal Maiden, King J, of course, off lane Magnus, and last but not least, Hao on the one-row Alchemist.
That introduces Tongfu. Hello to all the Swedes out there. We love you here in Los Angeles. On the side of the Alliance, we have Loda on your carry Weaver.
Why are they suddenly German?
I don't know. No, it's
Okay.
not. There's a lot of Germanic influence in
Oh,
Sweden.
okay, all right, fair.
They're actually similar ethnic background generally. That's why they all have blonde hair and they're very tall.
Damn.
Loda on the Weaver, S4 on the Timbersaw, Ake, the Crystal Maiden, Egum, no, just kidding, EGM on your Tramp Protector. That leaves Mr. Bulldog on the off-lane Bounty Hunter. They are 6-0. They're the top dogs. They are going to be a tough hill to climb, a tough opponent to beat. But Tongfu, if anyone can do it, from China, maybe it is your Dota 2 Super League champions. They won the biggest event outside of the International. Here we go.
Yeah, let's see if they have what backs up that kind of event win. We do see Alliance walking as a team up that particular ramp, particularly thinking about dewarding this even.
Look at the Alliance. Yeah, maybe thinking this Magnus is going to be doing some ancient stack,
Well,
jungling, which he is. But have they spotted him out? Are they making a go on him? Lotus like, maybe we can go for this one, guys. But
No, King J saw that ward plop down, so he should know that the pull is not going to work out anymore. So he is going to have a very tough time up top. We'll see exactly what he's going to do.
I mean, again, this is where the Magnus pick was definitely greedy, because if you're not, unless they wanted to go aggressive tri-lane, that puts him in the off lane, puts him in the jungle. He's not a great jungler, and if you can't stack ancients, well, what is he actually going to be able to do? Again, I think he's at high risk of just getting first blooded here against Weaver, Crystal Maiden.
Meanwhile, though, in the jungle, we do see the disruption going off against Ammo Bulldog. Slow goes on, the stun being channeled, and Ammo Bulldog in huge trouble, but Living Armor is absolutely OP. He's down to about half HP being dusted. Living Armor, guys.
Well, there's no acid spray. If there's acid spray, that's the first blood.
Well, I mean, Ammo Bulldog just got initiated on. He doesn't care. I mean, that's one of the very precious dusts at early game for these supports. And, well, Hao is going to be free farming away, but they need level 2, definitely.
Yeah. Well, we didn't see any Chuan Living Armor there. Put out right away. Good job by EGM. Keeping up safe.
Tron made me sad last night.
And this will be very annoying for the supports of Tongfu, because Bulldog can just go right-click anyone, and they have to stick together, or they're just going to take way too much damage. Already, Bounty Hunter can win these 1v1s without Living Armor, and now that he's got it, just going hard on Banana, right-clicking away. There is a sentry, or sorry, there is a... No, that's a smoke. Do they have any sentries? Yeah, they have 2.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of the ways that Prophet are being played right now. Sending Treants to harass the support. He's just basically doing it with his hero, and of course, when you have Living Armor backup, you're not too afraid of anything. Of course, with that Poor Man Shield, really all the right clicks going back to him, he's not going to feel it too much either, but Enchantress should hold things together. Let's see if they're going to get a good gank on him, though. They do have that one dust still.
So I'm curious to see how this mid lane goes. I don't think I've seen Quap versus Timbersaw before.
Ammo Bulldog in a little bit of trouble. The dust goes on.
Double Centaur.
Disruption.
They
Do
still have
acid
both
spray?
stuns. There's stun number 1. The stun being channeled. Their Living Armor's in again, but it's removed immediately. First blood to Tongfu. That off-lane Bounty Hunter, Living Armor, not unbeatable. And that was without even bothering to take acid spray.
I mean, that's...
Living Armor not long for this world.
To be fair, that's 2 Centaurs, that's an Enchantress, that's a Disruption, 2 Illusions. Like, that Living Armor just got removed instantly.
But they can keep on doing that. I mean, Banana can always have 2 creeps. They can definitely have a Disruption every time they want. Will it actually be that useful in Bulldog? Maybe
I mean,
not.
Bulldog says, I don't care, I'm going to come right back here. He has Janata. He's going to come right back to harass these guys. There's a Centaur. He's coming right back in. Disruption's going to come
I don't know
through.
about this, Lumi. This might just be a casual feed. He gets Centaur Stomp once. Now the Living Armor's in. The stun's being thrown by Hao. It's going to connect. Now he's caught near the trees. Another Sentry Ward thrown out. Bulldog on the run. Bulldog down. 2 for nil. Tongfu on a roll.
They are rolling the hell up.
That Living Armor, it's great in some scenarios, but when you're up against an Enchantress, Disruption Illusions, and a Tri-Lane, it has its limits.
Alliance, what's going on?
In Living Armor we trust? Have they trusted too much? However this game develops, just remember they did have a choice to take Bulldog, Lone Druid, or Prophet in the first 2 picks. In the first 4, oh no, first two. And they chose not to.
Yeah, but they took the Weaver, I believe, and the Treant Protector instead, so...
We'll see. They have mentioned that they've been trying to diversify their picks, their style a bit. So we can look at the other lanes now, as Bulldog is probably not going to run into that same Sentry Ward. He's heading up the other direction, but Quap mid versus Timbersaw. Quap doing well so far, holding her own, zoning S4 out a bit. S4 still getting some farming levels. King J on the off-lane mag, only level 1. I mean, this is my one big concern for them is off-lane mag against a Weaver Crystal Maiden just can't do much.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the mid lane a little bit more. I'm somewhat concerned for Mu. Yeah, she's actually doing okay in winning that lane, but she's not winning hard enough. Although S4, perhaps in a little bit of trouble. He's regenerating quite a bit.
It's their living armor. It's cooling down. Oh, he wasn't sure, I guess. Didn't go for the kill. Was pretty low, though.
I mean, he had 8 HP regen per second because of reactive armor. He had a bottle coming as well, so he wasn't going to die. And there's a little bit of late living armor giving him that heal.
So you think Moo's in a lot of trouble here is what you're
yes,
saying?
Mu is not winning the lane hard enough because I think that S4 is going to have a greater mid-game impact. Mu needs item. He needs an Orca to do that. S4, once he gets level 8, he could already go crazy with Timber Chain.
Yeah, and he is getting the levels on Timbersaw, and as a mid Timbersaw, you can always just bottle Crow. King J skewering off the top lane. There's a Nova here as well. Frostbite already deployed. He is going to live, but again, level 1 Magnus. He's not getting any farm at all. No bottle, no arcane boots. They're going to have to catch him up somehow. Maybe they stack, I mean, they can't stack Ancients.
Not yet,
Maybe
at
they
least.
share some of the experience that Hal's getting, because Hal with the Point and Grievel's Greed phase boots up. Maybe they'll go for that, but they have to find a place for this Magnus to get farmer levels. Mag is not a Beastmaster. He doesn't just walk in and roar. He needs a blink, he needs arcanes, he needs some items.
Well,
so I
that-
continue to be worried about
That is 264 gold in his pocket. That is a tower kill on the bot lane being lasted by Alchemist.
There's your bottle. Hey,
Yeah.
that helps.
Yeah, and to be honest, How is actually not going for a max Grievel's Greed build.
I'm a little surprised
Yeah.
about this. Maxing the stun, though, I mean, ultimately, Living Armor only blocks a portion of the incoming damage, so... Hey, this stun's still going to hit like a truck.
It does hit, especially if you can consider that there is a soul catcher on top of that. But I mean, at the same time, after you got those 2 early kills on Admiral Bulldog, he's gonna play a lot more passively. You're not gonna find those kills as easily. And to be honest, once that happens, your Grievel's Greed is gonna give you more value in the lane. To be honest.
So they push the tier 1 bottom lane, and they take it early, but now Bulldog has a slightly safer lane. He's able to get some experience here. He's still hitting level 4, and I am just comparing to these offlaners. Level 1 Magnus, level 4 Bounty Hunter, and everything else being equal, that is not a good trade.
Well, at the same time though, that Admiral Bulldog now hits level 4.
Yeah.
Did give away a couple kills, so you know. Both from 1 to Enchantress. Enchantress actually
Top lane, dive on King J. This should be a kill. Won't be the first blood. He's got access to Skewer. He's hanging onto it, bottling up, still living for now. Loda waiting for that next cooldown of Sakuchi.
Oh, the creeps are coming.
Actually, Loda's low. He's got access to a salve here. He's living armored up. Now he's Sakuchi's, and he actually looks to dive with the living armor. King J might get a TP reaction here. Nothing just yet. Here it comes. Shadow Demon's on the mark. He's trying to join the fight, but they force out a TP, and Loda manages to avoid death. So nice job by him, not dying, forcing a TP rotation. While that happens, though, Moog does pick up a DD at the top route.
I think that actually went okay for Tongfu, because Tongfu got a ton of levels out of that one. Shansheng TP's up there, get a level 4. Magnus, unfortunately, didn't get too much EXP for those creeps dying under tower. He really wants that level 3. Unfortunately, he has to rotate all the way back to base, and that's a bad feeling when you have a full mono pool like he does.
So there's a DD on Moo here. Normally, if you're a DD co-op against the melee hero, that's an easy kill. But I'm not sure if it will be. Not with reactive armor, not with living armor.
I'm actually worried for Mu because there is so much pure damage coming out from S4 that he could just go down to like a whirling death as well as a chakram. So he's got to be
in
very
Blink
careful.
we trust. In Blink we trust.
In a lot of things we trust, but
For now. We'll
most
see
of
if our
it-
trust is rewarded.
I mean, on the bot lane, sure they got 2 kills on Bulldog, but he's sitting pretty right now. He's actually doing okay.
I mean, it's like I said, you push the tier 1 early, but if you don't go for 2, then you're just giving away a lot of experience to Bounty Hunter. And the offlaners have somewhat equalized, mostly because, like you said, they went for the creep dive and didn't secure it. The good news, though, is Hao is left alone, and he's farming alone, and Bulldog cannot really contest him too effectively now. If he tries to go in and just use Living Armor to trade effectively, then the creep wave's there anyway, and you just drop Acid Spray, and Bulldog will be zoned out. So he gets experience, but he's not stopping Hao from farming, which is a pretty big deal. You can leave your Alk alone, and he still gets free farm.
He's trying his best to actually deny against Hao. I mean, Hao's not going to get the kill on him. Sure, you're being zoned out, but you never actually do kill the Admiral Bulldog. And to be honest, you're always in constant danger of being a TP ganked on. But for now, he's still playing very aggressive.
So generally when we see Alks go phase boots first, it's because they want to rush a Shadow Blade. And they don't want to go for something like Battle Fury. And now he throws out a stun.
Just a little bit of token harass. Not going to do too
Token
much.
harass, but I mean, it's why not? You have the mana for it. Just zone him out, continue to pressure. Alliance not really punishing this movement. They'll throw out a Whirling Blade, a Chakram rather, on Mu. Always get those. They're such similar names.
they're
Now
gonna
they're
try to
going in, though. They do have a Timber Chain. Level 1, though. It's not very long range. They disengage. Mu throws out the ult. He's still fighting through this. He's low. He will bring back. Now they'll throw out the Soul Catcher. Ake on the run. The Creep could be the hero. They need one more hit to bring him down. He's not dead yet. Salving up. Able to live. Chakram on the Banana. He's slowed as well. But coming from the backside is How. He wants to finish S4. Tired of the living armor. Tired of the cheeky escapes. They just can't do it. Now he's got to run too.
Living armor OP, like
That was not, they dropped Soul Catcher after all the damage came out though from the Queen of Pain.
yeah, he
It
had
was not a well executed gank by Tongfu.
when the disruption came out, there was like 2 or 3 creeps surrounding S4, so you were gonna guess on that Soul Catcher, so it didn't pan out there. And How made that entire rotation to the bot lane, or mid lane, didn't get the kill. And guess what? Admiral Bulldog, despite the poor start he had, he's level 6, and you got to be somewhat careful of that. I mean, can you imagine track bonus movement speed on a Timbersaw chasing in the jungle? That is a scary dot.
Yeah, Moose still holding his own in CS, and Alchemist still farming well. It is free farm on Loda, and he's going for a Lincoln Sphere, so goes for that good split pushing item. There are some ways to lock him down, though, particularly the RP, if there ever is an RP, because KJ still level 3, still the Ancients warded, a fresh war was plopped down, no Ancient stacking for him. Where is the comeback mechanic for this Magnus Lumi? I'm still very worried for King J. I think they've got to find a way to get him farmed, because what does Magnus offer you, even if he gets level 6 with no blink, with no boots? Jesus.
I mean, he's gonna bottle.
They have to find a way to get him some levels in farm.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
once
you rotate Quap to that lane. I don't know.
bot lane though, they're gonna go right here on Admiral Bulldog. The sun's gonna go there, and all of the HP are gone. Can they actually get the kill? He's so very tanky. Here comes S4. Any revenge kill gonna go around Shanshan? Oh my god, the damage
What a
is right
hero.
there.
Just throws out the 2 nukes, instantly blows up the Shadow Demon. But they get a kill, and they force a TP reaction, and the Alk does not die. Shadowblade's coming soon. I'd say a pretty even trade.
Yeah, decent. I mean, for How he's gonna keep on farming away. S4 still around the area, and Mu
That's
is
just absurd, though. Like, no hero should be allowed to do that much damage. He literally almost instantly killed Shadow Demon full health to none with 2 nukes. 2 nukes.
Heroes OP.
Just saying.
Living Armor's OP. Man, Alliance picking all these OP heroes. Thoughts?
They want to win?
All right, that's fair.
I don't know if they're all OP. It's a nice lineup for Alliance, though. I think the thing that I like about this, like, because we're talking about how good Living Armor is, but it's honestly, it can be completely useless. Like, we saw IG yesterday. They ran a Lifestealer mid, a pretty passive, sort of farming-oriented hero in the mid lane. They ran a Lone Druid, a pretty passive farmer. If you run heroes like that, Living Armor is kind of crappy in most cases.
Yeah.
But if you pick a lineup that's built around the spell, and you draft heroes that can benefit a lot from it, can dive towers, can find kills, then it can be fantastic. So far, though, they've only found 1 kill. No track kills yet for Alliance, but that's going to be their plan to take this game. You have a lot of burst damage. You got great ganking potential. Once they get up enough items, they'll start going for these track kills. And now we look at Tongfu, and honestly, the level 3 Magnus might be the most ideal target of all.
I mean, if you think about it, this lineup gets a lot better in the mid game with Timbersaw maxing all of his spells, with Track being at level 2, things of that. So even though they only have 1 kill so far, their offense is going to get a lot better as time progresses. Also, I do have to say, though, it is concern to Alliance, the fact that you have Living Armor and you have gave away more kills to Tongfu early on. They are going to pressure top lane a little bit, and I think as a Magnus, you're pretty happy getting the EXP. You're not getting any gold, but you're getting some EXP.
A little bit here and
Yeah.
there, but you're right. It's very limited for him. He actually went for the boots first. The bottle is finally coming, though. And
No, he's
here
been
comes
bottle
the dive.
crawling.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, still no arcane boots for him. KJ slowly fighting the farm. Little pressure mid, but the nice thing for Tongfu is they have a Shadow Blade on Hal, so if... Well, they don't have it yet. It hasn't been delivered. Actually, it's because the courier's been busy. I was thinking maybe he's trying to hide it or something, but that's not the case. So, Rune's going to spawn bottom. It'll be an Invis Rune. Moo's going to bottle it up. I think Tongfu, with the Shadow Blade, we're going to see them start to try and put some pressure on Alliance soon, but they've got to be very careful about it. If they overextend, which is easy to do against Living Armor, then you're giving away track kills.
So one thing I do want to point about in terms of the playstyle of Tongfu, they're saying, hey, you know what? We have a 1-row Alchemist. This is probably by far our best farmer in terms of just AFK farming, getting a huge goal lead and win the game. They're saying we could do that, but instead we want to amp up the regression. We think that we can only beat Alliance by being more aggressive than they are.
So Hao's off the lane right now. He's going to come in with the Shadow Blade. They do have a Crystal Maiden in reserve. S4 is going to be a full duration stun onto him. Thrown out now. And the Acid Spray is there. Queen of Pain on everything at S4. They get the kill, but now can they get out? They track Mu. He's got access to Blink. He'll throw it now. There's Disruption available as well. They'll disrupt the Alk. They both get out safely. A surgical gank. The first Shadow Blade one is a success. Great execution.
It was such a tough gank, though. It felt like they just had to drop everything, and they got so low as well. Living Armor not doing enough, and that's a big thing. Here
if
comes
he gets Frostbite,
Mu.
he's dead. Mu can't blink away. Shouldn't have been there.
Should not have been there at all. I mean, I think he expected Bulldog to be off the lane then, but at the same time, he was not high HP enough to survive that nuke. So
meanwhile, Loda trying to dive King J, but he accidentally auto-attacked the creep, so any chance of getting that kill pretty much gone. I mean, as hard as it is to get those kills, you have to make them count. Giving one right back and a track kill at that,
yeah,
that's really costly.
The track kill went to the Crystal Maiden as well as Tree and Protector. These heroes are not used to having the extra gold, and now if you look at Tree and Protector, 1,000 gold up, he's jungling it with the Quelling Blade, and now we have Crystal Maiden buying a ton of wards and smoke of that nature. So, yeah, Alliance got a freebie there.
Loda continues to work towards his Lincoln Sphere. For the time being, is our lead farmer, but Alk is the lead net worth. Greevil's Greed, the kills making the difference here. 1-0 and 3 for Hal. I do like that they finally gotten King J off of that top lane, because they have to find his Blink Dagger. We're already 14 minutes in. A good solo mid mag performance will often net you a Blink Dagger by this time. But at his rate, if he doesn't die, we could look at a 20-minute Arcane Blink.
Well, I think they're actually looking to set up a kill up top here, as we do see how moving in that direction. He does have, obviously, his Shadow Blade. Is there any detection on Shansheng? They have a Dust.
Banana's in trouble. There's Living Armor bottom lane. He's running to the left, but he's going to get caught out now. That's a track kill if they can find it. And oh, can they ever find it? 3 heroes descend. You just can't be off on your own if you're a Tongfu support, because then you're easy picking.
Top lane, the sun's going to come right on Alchemist, or Alliance.
They don't have this. There's no way to get this kill. I don't think he's going to time-lapse and get out. Yeah. Dust is there, had the strength charge. It makes the difference. Now, Tongfu on the run. The swarm comes through, and S4 out to chase the Chakram narrowly off the mark. Hal comes back in, throws the stun. Now they purge Loda as well. Mu joining the fight. Is it turning around? EGM's low. Hal looking for that last right click. Will go down. S4 going pretty hard here with the Chakram. Is going to jump back with the Timber Chain, but can't quite find the kill.
Loda's
Mu's
here.
still running. Mu still on the run. From the backside comes Bulldog. This would be a track kill. Loda maybe baiting this one. He blinks up to the high ground. Pretty successful escape thus far. Tongfu dodging a lot of bullets. And Sangsheng managing to find a kill on S4's Timbersaw. A big kill there. Loda, however, might go down. Bulldog still looking for the backstab. Now, Loda on the run. Queen of Pain. Oh no, off the mark. They need 1 imp. They get the kill anyway. That could have been an absolute train wreck.
Wow.
But they're finding the way, Lumi. They're getting kills. They're not giving up track kills. There was no TP on Bulldog there. With Bounty Hunter in that fight, I think it's a much different engagement. But Tongfu coming out on top yet again.
I completely agree. I'm surprised that they were able to get kills on both cores, S4 as well as Loda. These are good kills, and to be honest, I'm surprised they did it with no stuns, right? The only stun in that team fight was your Alchemist stun, and they did okay.
They're up against Track Gold, and they're still keeping their own here. Obviously, the Alchemist Greevil's Greed making the difference. Thing is, if he gets enough items here, then the Assault Caress is going to really negate what 2 of Alliance's 3 cores do. Your Bounty Hunter, your Weaver, will not do much against this AC. Of course, there's always the Timbersaw, but it puts a lot of pressure on S4 to dish out all the damage.
I mean, I think in theory it does, but if you look at the way he was playing, he's a lot more on kind of killing the enemy team. It looks like he's going to try to set up a gang on the bot lane here.
Oh, EGM could be dead here. They'll need a TP reaction. Who's going to be ready? They throw out the stun. No stun!
No! How?
What is with the self-stuns today?
How?
No, yesterday as well. I mean,
just throw it, my man.
there was...
That was a free kill.
Now, sometimes there's a reason to hold the stun, like if you're up against Lifesteal and he's raged. I mean, there's a few reasons, but throw the damn thing, man.
I understand what he did. He tried to go for the massive value, get the right-click damage out of the Shadow Blade.
Once it gets to 2.5 seconds, by the time it arrives, it's pretty much max. Like
right,
around 2.5 seconds.
He wanted to get the extra damage on the Shadow Blade. He wanted to get the Acid Arm or Acid Spray down, but then you stun yourself.
They have an RP, or they have an RP
though.
here.
Mid lane.
They could kill S4. RP's there. They skewer. They whip it. King J, another airball from Tongfu. There's no quapple. Timber chains to safety. Now Ake hunting. I don't think they'll find a kill, but you gotta land these, Lumi. That's an easy free kill off the mark. Jesus.
RIP China. We're done.
And that's an RP on cooldown. So now Alliance should be aggressive. It's time. Loda, though, gets caught top lane. Are they going to find a kill anyway? Living armor, it's just enough. Just enough. He gets the tower and he gets out. So, jeez. If they had RP there, that's another kill. I mean, once again.
The score right now should be 9-4, and they missed a little bit of opportunity, but Tongfu is playing well. They're putting a ton of pressure on Lions, and that in itself is something to be said, because generally nobody puts pressure on Lions. Alliance generally does this to you. So I think Tongfu is still ahead, but Tongfu needs to, I'm not sure if they're nervous playing against a 6-0 group, or 6-0 team, but they need to step it up a little bit.
I mean, to be honest, the Magnus model, like, clipped through him without skewering him. It did look pretty close. It wasn't wildly off the mark, but you're a pro. You got to land that one.
Yeah,
You're a pro. As for the Alliance, I think just because it's pretty close, I favor them right now. Like, Tongfu should be ahead, because if they ever start losing fights, the game falls apart.
Yes.
Track Gold will completely blow the game
They
open.
have to play better than Alliance for the rest of the way, and I'm not sure whether they can do that.
At least until King J gets a blink. Like, once he has a blink, I think there's a lot more avenues for them to just find pickoffs or retreat out safely. But we're still looking. I said 20-minute blink. Now it looks more like 23-minute blink. Just because he hasn't been able to find the farm, missing that kill mid. Eventually he'll have it, but oh no. Finally, the Alliance might have found their opening. This looks great for the Swedes. EGM on the hunt, Sungshun on the run, but Nova's going to slow him down. He's going to need to self-disrupt. Hao channeling the stun, looking to unload a great defensive disrupt, dodges the Timber Chain, turns it around on Aki, but they've already lost one. Moves back in the fray, though. Living Armor cooling down. Queen of Pain hold on 2. EGM to fall. Bulldog in a bit of trouble here, but it's all up to S4.
They have
now
RP.
the Imps, the pure damage. Reactive Armor not going to save you. It's a 3-for-1. And what looked bad for Tongfu turns out great again. Score now 10-5.
Absolutely beautiful bait here from Shansheng. He just kept running to the tower, knew that he had to self-disrupt, and baited the chase for the deep. And we have multiple TP in coming in from the tier 1 and tier 2, and Tongfu just played that perfectly. And now, I mean, we keep talking about this Alchemist Grievous Greed. He's only got that 1 point still. So, but he is being very effective at killing just about everybody on the enemy team.
He's 40 CS behind Loda, still leading him in farm.
I mean, he's got a ton more kill, right?
Can't argue with the build.
He's 3-0-7. This is very, very effective.
Actually, that's incredible. Every single kill, he's participated
I mean,
in.
like, this is from your one-row player. That is absolutely marvelous to watch.
And the thing is, now things could get a little bit dangerous for the Alliance, because now Mu has an Orchid, and there's no Lincoln Sphere on Loda yet. Is it ready? Does he have it on the courier? No Lincoln Sphere. He's got the recipe. He's basically got it. But until he gets the Lincoln Sphere, you could blow him up. And then everyone else, especially a hero like Timbersaw, you silence him in a team fight, that hero goes from outrageous to useless.
I want to say useless.
Yeah, pretty useless,
Pretty
man.
useless, yeah.
Like, I guess he's a little tankier with reactive armor, but that's about it.
Immediate D-ward here coming out from Aki. Very, very nicely done. Shasha unfortunately tracked up. Yeah, how do you feel that Alliance is going to... What is their comeback? Are they just looking for that one team fight where they get 4 tri-kill and say, hey, we're right back?
I mean, like we've talked about in the draft, when you go for Weaver Tree and then you pick up a Bounty Hunter, your lineup is largely built around snowballing and finding pickoffs. Timbersaw is not good at breaking the high ground. Neither is Bounty Hunter. Frankly, none of these heroes are any good at it except for possibly Weaver. And for Weaver to break the high ground, he needs massive farm. So
yeah.
they've only taken 1 outer tower. Normally the Alliance is known for... As of late, it's kind of... maybe not as of late, because I haven't seen them much in this event, but over the past few months, they've really been known for what Na'Vi was heading to the International 2. You get the early advantage, you start securing the map, taking the outer towers, and slowly but surely you just asphyxiate your opponents. Then you break the high ground around 30 to 40 minutes in. I don't think they can break the high ground very easily at all this game. In fact, you're going into RP, Acid Spray, Quap Ult. So for Alliance to take this game, they have to start finding kills. Maybe they sneak a Roche, but... Sitting back and farming, if there's no kills, is going to favor Tongfu.
Yeah, I don't think Alliance is going to look for a 5v5 engagement. Their team is built around getting a sneak kill here and there. Yeah, King J does have Skewer, though. He's very tanky. He should be fine.
His positioning has been really good, though, because he's off-lane mag has not died yet this game.
Not
I
at all,
thought he
yeah.
was going to feed, to be honest, because
I
that was
mean-
a really tough lane, but they've helped him. They helped him with the 1 TP where maybe he would have died, and since then, King J's just... This is amazing for an off-lane mag.
If you think about it, against a Crystal Maiden, which you could skew or wave, even if you get frostbitten, Treant is just not going to zone you out in any shape or form. It's not that hard of a lane, but he's got his farm, he's got his levels, up to 1,400 gold despite against the offensive tri-lane. He's doing great. Let's see if you could tie it all together by picking up some Blink,
Oh.
landing some sick RPs.
How? He's been on the mark as well this game, but he might get caught bottom lane. They're rotating Sungshun in, Banana as well. Will they be here in time? It's 4 heroes for the Alliance. They're jumping How now. He has access to the ult, the stick charges as well. Now he's on the run. Pops the Shadow Blade, tries to retreat out. The reinforcements have been cut off. S4 silenced and isolated. Still How running. I don't think they can get this kill. King J TP's in. And in the end, Alliance 4 heroes to the bottom lane. Tongfu as well. Nobody gets a kill. And even Queen of Pain jumping in now. Loda splashing through with the Sakuchi will retreat out, but he's got Lincolns now, so an important item for him. Again, there are some ways to remove this, but getting the Lincolns, Alliance may be more in position to take some fights now.
Yeah, also one of the big weaknesses that Alliance has in their lineup is that the only true stun they have is Crystal Maiden Ultimate, or not Ultimate, Tree Ultimate and Crystal Maiden Frostbite.
And these, again, these are not true stuns. These just interrupt spells.
Right, so for Alchemist, you could see that they were chasing him down, but with Shadow Blade turned on, he just moves so fast that he just walks out of there.
Need the Oof.
Yeah.
Need that Orb of Venom,
I don't think Oof's going to do it. I think you need a Basher or a Abyssal or a Hex or something like a real stun.
Of course, something for the Timbersaw, S4, maybe a Shiva's.
Yesterday I say Timbersaw Basher. You don't believe me, but
yeah. Lumen, I can never doubt you after the double damage illusion show.
There you go. So. There you go.
Here goes the gank top lane, though. Loda, remember, he does have a Lincoln Sphere here. You've got a Shadow Strike, then Silence in order to find the kill. And Loda actually jumping in. He thinks he's safe with Living Armor. There's a Shadow Demon tucked away in the trees, but even if they get off the combo there, they need a +1. They need the Magnus, they need the Alk. But for Tongfu, I think it's okay that they're not finding kills as long as they farm and they don't die. And they're not dying. Now King J's going to have his Blink. It's a super late Blink, but it's a Magnus RP.
For an off lane, it's not bad.
It's not bad for an off. I mean, it's late compared to mid-mag, yeah, but you have it now. That's really all that matters.
Well, they're going to bring Lincoln Sphere up top here. The silence goes on. They're going to try to bring him down to purge. Oh my goodness, where is the Living Armor? Comes very late, and oh no, the time-lapse goes off. Moose trap right now.
Courier has arrived. There's an AC recipe on it. I don't know why it was heading top. Now goes back towards the mid lane, and maybe a bullet dodge, but while that's happening, Quap ult's down. You need that to really team fight effectively. It's been huge for them so far. So Alliance, knowing the Quap ult's down, say, we're going to go push mid, and you can't stop us. Is that true? We're about to find out, because it looks like Tongfu wants to defend. The Magnus Blink RP is available. In he comes, King J, but now there's... Well, can he find it? Blake, Skewer, catches S4, gets blown up by the stun. The Imp's coming through, Living Armor, not enough. RP was thought about, but not even needed.
Yeah. King J
the tower deny, too. That's a great defense by Tongfu.
Yeah, Shanshan was just focusing on the deny in between his spell casting. And do they have a gem as well? I just saw a Centaur being... Yeah, they have a gem on Shanshan as well. Man, these guys are serious. They're saying, you know what? We defend our tier 1 tower. We still have RP available. We're pushing for some advantage
I want to point out that that gem is super important. Obviously, for map control, you want to have that against Bounty Hunter so it doesn't gank you. But on another note, they didn't use RP there. I think if they used RP, Alliance might have said, we're going to try and sneak a Roche here.
Bulldog.
Because Alliance loves to do that. But there's no way you can against RP. So holding that, really crucial. Now Tongfu rotating towards the bottom lane. Still the tier 1 stands. I mean, you want to have room to run when you're Timbersaw and Bounty Hunter, and the tier 1 still being up bottom, the tier 1 mid only going down 25 minutes. Tongfu holding onto their territory has really helped them cement an advantage in this game. They now lead by 4k gold, 3k experience. It's close, but they've been playing close to perfect. I mean, we saw some big misses on the Quap ult, which didn't matter, and the Skewer, but aside from that...
again, S4. Uh-oh, in a little bit of trouble. No, Admiral Bulldog RP, that's going to be on to 2. Where's the Sonic Wave? Nothing just yet. Skewer backward. The mech goes up here. Can they do enough damage? That's a question.
Timbersaw, S4 running rampant. He's chaining through. 2 down. How in trouble? Have they overextended? It looks like they might have another Timber Chain. Another kill. 2 hero RP. Doesn't matter. Did Mu buy back for this? He did, and he's not going to get a thing out of it. I guess they save a hero or 2, but that Timbersaw, man.
Man. You gotta focus on S4. He just puts out way too much damage. Or if you don't want to focus him, at least Orchid on him and make sure that he's not gonna participate in the fight for 5 seconds. We saw how quickly he dropped your Alchemist. Alchemist is just supposed to be your big tank. Alchemist went down like 2 shot. So
it's still close. 13 to 8, but track gold. Any kind of trade like that for the Alliance favors them, and RP was used. So now they look to fight.
I think S4 or Bulldog died right in the beginning. I don't think he ever got off.
Oh, they didn't get any tracks?
I don't think so.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, so it wasn't that bad. It was kind of disaster averted. Oh, S4 coming
They're jumping in now. They want to jump on Mu. He's got a blink. He'll use it now, but Loda continues to give chase. Remember, there is still an Orchid here. He's got to be careful. Banana, however, not so lucky. Popped his heal. Trapped at the tower. There was no disruption. He actually used a purge first. Now he's going to lose a gem. Oh, you can't lose a gem against Bounty Hunter and Weaver. This is brutal. This could cost them a lot, and now Sungshun will fall. 1 by 1, they go in, and this is what we talked about. Alliance they're not going to win if they just try and break the high ground and play that sort of old standard Alliance Dota, but if they're fighting pickoffs, if they're snowballing, that's where Tongfu get into trouble, and it's so easy to.
That's 2 track kills. That's a tier 1 tower kill. That is a gem going the other way. Mu had bought back in the previous team fight, and of course you kill Hao with S4's burst damage. So
And now they'll go Roche.
yeah, I mean, suddenly the game is right back in Alliance. I want to say that Tongfu had a slight lead previously, but just in that one turn event, just one team fight, the game goes the other way.
I mean, don't forget that Tongfu is still a very strong high ground defending lineup. They still have the hardest carry in the game by far in the Alchemist. They've got the RP on his side as well. They have Shadow Demon. I still think they have the better late game lineup, but that's assuming this goes in a traditional direction. And if you're Alliance, you want to break the mold. You don't want to fight 5v5. You want to fight unfair. You want to fight dirty. Just pick heroes off, find the track kills, abuse the Aegis advantage, and just spread the map out. And so far, they've been very good at doing that. They were slow to find their openings, but now they seem to be coming a bit faster.
Well, I think we have to look at Hao and see what he does. If he picks up a BKB, he's going to be king in these team fights. Again, nothing will lock him down aside from that overgrowth. So
All they can do is run. They
Right.
do have Timber Chain, they have Track, and they have
RP's going to
Sakuchi.
get dropped on the mid lane, skewer back where he hits this one in an EGM. He may have the mech. He may have overgrowth. Will he survive long enough?
He's surviving a long time,
He's
but
surviving
he
worse than
really
that.
should go down.
All right.
Now the gem falls. Oh man, I didn't realize he had gem. That's a huge loss.
Yeah, he took Shadow Demon's gem and they took it back. So
It looked like he might have. Did he drop it at the end there, or did he just die? Because he might have been trying to transfer it to his team before falling,
well,
which would have been a huge play.
he
if he
cannot
could.
deny gem anymore. So
Well, yeah, he
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
had to give it to them,
But
which he
his-
was close to. but
his
couldn't get
allies
them.
were quite far. But
Yeah, they're pretty close, like here and here. It's like you're reaching out across the bridge.
you can't lob the gem over. That's no.
You can't.
You can't play catch with your
Ev-
gem.
Even EG probably can't do that.
No, you don't throw that far.
Even EG can't throw that far.
Yeah.
Here we go. The Alliance pushing down the middle lane. 4 heroes grouped up. They're maybe looking to fight. Remember, they still have the Aegis unloaded. Now they've got a Desolator. This is their time to strike while the iron is hot. And here we go. Grouping up mid. No Treant yet, but Living Armor is there from wherever you need it.
Again, Tongfu is really, Alliance is really bad at pushing. Their lineup's not designed for that, but you have, Desolator.
Backstab from Alk. Is he going in?
Nothing just yet.
So do you want to fight now? Because Alk almost has BKB. Like,
you don't
he's
have RP.
really close.
You don't have RP. I don't think you take this fight.
It sucks to lose your tier 2 mid. That's important for the next Roshan, but I don't think it's worth the risk either.
Like, your entire team is already tracked up. If the fight goes poorly at all, you just give them a bunch of gold. So
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's one of the things about playing Bounty Hunter is if he gets off 3 or 4 tracks before the fight happens, you don't want to take that fight unless you are absolutely goddamn sure you're going to take it.
yeah. Well, Tongfu Mu is farming his way up to something. I think he needs to get a BKB right now just to get some tank against that S4. Because once half your team is BKB'd up, what does a Timbersaw do?
Does the Chakram slow go through BKB?
I'm not sure. I don't think it does.
I'm not sure actually either. Sorry guys, our mechanics knowledge does have its limits.
We
but
have not
I
seen.
mean, there is still some decent physical damage on Alliance, but you got to remember, he's got an AC, and the other thing is there's also disruption. So, like, even if they manage to jump Hao, he's not going to be the easiest hero to kill. Either he BKBs or he gets disrupted. Either way, now he's feeling confident to 5-man. I still maintain that Tongfu with somewhat equal farm should have the better 5-man lineup, but they need a good RP. King J's been pretty on the mark this game. If he whiffs an RP, that's the kind of thing in a game like this that could just lose them the game flat out.
Yeah, also when you make a 5-man push like that, you have to commit to that 5-man push because you're playing against Korean Protector. If you don't finish that push, basically you just wasted time mid because now you can see it is slowly being healed back up.
Well, there's Greevil's Greed. Any time spent farming with Greevil's Greed is not wasted time, Libby.
I suppose.
But they are falling behind in terms of gold. Like,
Yeah.
they have Greevil's Greed on their side. That Alk is still the leader in net worth despite being now a good 40 CS behind Loda, but, I mean, they're falling behind anyway.
I mean, this is you got to keep in mind that Alliance had a slow start in this game. And to be honest, their lineup's not really designed for this part of the game either, but they are making a comeback. So Alliance, to me, in the last 10-15 minutes, has been playing better than Tongfu. And they're pressing their advantage. They're saying, you know what, let's go for yet another tower push. The one thing that you have to be careful about is that they don't have as much track up, and there is RP available, but I think they're going to go for a tower trade for
Tongfu, it's probably just not worth fighting against the Aegis. They'll try and go for the trade instead, like you said. The tier 1 mid for the tier 2 bottom. Not a great trade for them, but a safe play for them. And they'll get the tower. ultimately, maybe you can take that fight bottom if Alliance screws up or you have the amazing RP, but is it worth the risk against Track? I don't think so. So I
Yeah.
like that choice by Tongfu.
I mean, by going for that trade though, you do somewhat forfeit the next Roshan because where do you actually TP to now?
Yeah, and that the other thing is, even if you go to contest Roche, that's where, like, sure, RP's great in the pit if the enemy team's clumped, but Alliance wants you to leave your base. They're like, come out of your hole, come out of your nest, come fight us in an open field, because that's where our mobility is going to be king.
Thanks to Vickerman for letting us know that Trek does not, or sorry, not Trek, Chakram slow and damage does not go through BKB.
I've been showing the net worth. I'll continue to show it, guys, but keep your eyes on that corner. There you go. Some more net worth for you.
Yeah, LD says F you too.
Yeah, basically. I show the net worth all the time. If you're not seeing it, it's because you have the attention span of a 3-year-old. So, just saying. Anyway, 33 minutes in, score 14-10. Very close. Who do you think's going to take it, Lumi? Do you want to revise that bet? You still think it's a 2-0 Alliance?
I said 1-1 Tongfu. And I think in a close game like this, the team that has more experience always has my vote. And I think Alliance right now, they are a team that don't lose many games, period. So Tongfu, they're a very good team. They won the DSL, but are they good enough to take Alliance in a very tight game like this? Both teams going for a tower trade. Is there a glyph available on any team? There's a glyph available for Alliance and nothing available for Tongfu. So I really think that Loda and the rest of the team could take this tower for free and even defend their own territory.
There is no glyph, though. Oh, sorry, actually there is. It's just used now right as I click on the tower. And I don't... maybe they'll defend. If they defend, though, they're going to have to TP their whole team. Instead, they try to go for the trade and force Tongfu back that way. Tongfu with no glyph. Losing your tower would be very costly, and they're going to TP back now. Tier 2 for Tier 2. Blow for blow. I honestly like that trade for Tongfu. That's a Roche tower right here.
They got a glyph, and they also only lost, like, 200, 300 damage on their Tier 3 tower, which is okay. That tower didn't mean too much for Alliance because they still have the Tier 2 mid. But if they do lose that Tier 2 mid, I guess much of their advantage goes away.
For the time being, the Alliance, going back to farming. So if you're the Alliance, Lumi, what is your next step? Like, you got the tower trade, maybe you get the next Roshan. What do you do with that? How do you act? Dota's not about killing heroes. It's about winning the game and killing the enemy throne. How are you going to kill the enemy throne?
I think you, with the Alliance lineup, when they fight teamfight, it's really hard because their best teamfight ultimate is Tree and Protector's ult, which is pretty much a joke. Crystal Maiden's ult is not going to hit too much either, so they could only find pickoff. And this is the time in the game where we have multiple BKBs up, where we have a lot of people start grouping up, so you're not going to find those pickoffs as successfully. So I really don't exactly know what Alliance game plan is, aside from waiting for the enemy team to mess up.
Yeah, either waiting for them to mess up or forcing a mistake. Like, they just don't want to take an organized 5v5 clash. They've got to sow chaos in the ranks somehow, some way. And they do have good bursts now. And Loda works. He'll actually pick up a BKB. So I think with this, now they're really looking to force some fights. Because you go BKB on him, he's limiting his late game somewhat, not picking up a Manta to remove the Orchid silence, not picking up something to help him split push or just DPS better. He's going for an item that helps him fight now.
I mean,
this is probably where Alliance, they'll try and take that next Roche, and then they're really going to go for the fight.
Is BKB Lincoln's actually a good item in this game, though? Because you know Hao's next item choice is going to be Basher. And Basher, it doesn't matter if you're a BKB. It doesn't matter if you're Lincoln.
Yeah, there's no evasion for him. I mean, I guess you can block the initial Abyssal Blade usage, but that's about it.
No, just like the actual Bash. Because he is attacking like a truck.
Right.
How fast he is. So, I'm not sure.
And the thing about Timbersaw is, as crazy of a mid-game dominator as he is, eventually you get to a point where he's a solo mid that has no physical damage, does nothing against BKBs, and doesn't scale as well with items as other heroes. Doesn't offer you any lockdown to speak of.
He'll still shred Shansheng. He'll still shred Banana.
He'll shred the supports, but as long as they get off a disruption and a purge, they've mostly done their job in a normal team fight.
Right. I guess more so for the SD than the Enchantress. Enchantress wants to be attacking the whole team fight because she does actually just some decent damage.
Focus those heroes at your own risk, though.
Yeah.
Because then the slap chop comes.
Well, how is his really leading the farm chart now? Loda is leading by CS, but as you say, the net worth is going the other direction. The entire team is looking for that one pick. Again, if Alliance find that one pick, sure, some of these heroes on the Tongfu side, they have buyback. Like, Mu has one, Hao has one. But just on the pickoff alone, the fact that you force a buyback, you already gain the momentum back to your side.
If you're just joining us, guys, it's game 1 of a 2-game set. It's a group stage match for the International 3. And this has to be one of the closest games that we've cast yet, Lumi.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
2 of the best teams in the group stage so far. They both looked impressive. And I think if anyone can stop that Alliance undefeated streak, this might be the best shot that a team has had. Now, do remember that the Alliance was in a similar situation against IG. I actually didn't see the end of that game. I think game 2 was where there was that crazy pause, but I think it was game 1 where they somehow found a way with a similar lineup to win the game anyway. So despite things looking a little bit dicey, it's the Alliance. They might find a way regardless.
I mean, again, Alliance to me is a more experienced team. They have, less to prove. Tongfu has to prove the world that they can actually take a game off of Alliance.
Of course they're more experienced. They've got the living legend Loda on their team.
Well, there's King J on the other
I mean,
side.
how many live? He's a legend.
Okay, Loda or eHome 2010? I don't know if you could say the living legend's got that beat.
Elgod, Hair of a Lion, some Chinese players. Easy.
No, I don't know, man. King J, 2010 eHome.
Well, I'm just kidding. King J is a magnificent and accomplished player in his own right. But it's not about 2010 anymore. It's about 2013. And right now, I think both teams are evenly matched. I'm not feeling like either team has their opponent's number. I still think, like, I'd rather be in Tongfu's shoes if it's the same team playing against each other. But these are two different teams, two different styles. And if they find track kills, you can't completely count them out.
I mean, one thing that we haven't really been mentioning too much is the fact that Alchemist is working with Empower Farm all day long. And so is, slowly we do see King J catching up. He's working towards his BKB. He's got Empower for himself as well. In fact, Empower's not even close to being maxed as he's only level 12, so
yeah, the lack of
Tongfu
levels
is farming faster.
is still hurting him a bit. And it might look like they're not contesting Roche, but they are. Because there's a haste turn up on the Maggie, pushed out the top lane a bit. This is where you'd love to have that Bulldog Prophet or Radiance Launcher. It makes it much easier to get control of the lanes to go for Roche. Mu, though, tracked up, has to know it, and he will retreat out. Top lane not really pushing in. Mid lane is a bit, but Al can quickly correct that. Alliance, they know they need this Roche. They want to have that Aegis advantage. Fighting in a fair fight, again, not to the liking of this hero composition.
It's hard to go into that pit, though.
They take it pretty fast, though. Loda hits hard. They've got to connect on a big RP. In they go. Alliance backing off immediately. It's S4 to the front lines. He wants to lead the way. And Tongfu will retreat out. Acid Spray drop, but that might only make this Roche easier for the Alliance. They'll deward now. This is where you love having the gem. I mean, really, that gem being traded back and forth. Imagine if EGM hadn't died mid. They'd be playing mostly in the dark here.
Yeah, going into the Roshan pit like that is also hard considering that they could just track up your team. Now EGM says, all right, they're gone. Let's go back in. Loda with the Desolator, doing the minus armor necessary. Poisons are going to be used to scout things out. Multiple Chen creeps, or Enchantress creeps.
Moves on the high ground here. He's got a BKB. Look right now for the Alliance. Do they have any detection? Because he has an Invis rune. Do they have anything? No gem. They've got a sentry on the high ground here.
Yeah, they're relying on track, and I really don't think that Mu will say, "Hey, man, I have Invis. Let's go up the high ground."
That's up the high ground, but into the pit, sure, because they know there's no sentries outside that pit.
Right. I mean, sure, there's not many spells on the other side that will go through BKB, but if you pop your BKB and they overgrowth you, you're done. Like, there is physical damage on the other side in the form of Loda.
There is now an imp thrown out. Bulldog taking good damage. He'll be living armored up, and they'll retreat out.
There is an axe finish on Enchantress.
The delicate dance continues. Both teams eyeing each other from across the ravine.
Ooh, somebody draws the arrow. We're gonna do a big smoke gank over this way.
Are they gonna give them the complexity treatment? Is Alliance about to get a taste of America, Chinese style?
Chinese style.
That's Lumi, right? You're America Chinese style.
Sure, you can call it that.
Tongfu. In the end, the Alliance are going to back down from the game of chicken. They'll retreat out of the pit. They'll rotate back towards mid and get this wave going the other direction. Hal's going to try and sneak in. Is he going to ninja the Roche? Oh, no. But the Chakram's there immediately off the bat. Now he's got to back off. Is he really going for this? His whole team's in position. Alliance trying to corner him, trying to cage him in. He's got the DD rune up. The DD's about to wear off. He throws out a very quick stun, then retreats out. If he drops too low and they have to run.
Ooh, this could be an opportunity here for Alliance because the Alchemist ultimate will be running low very quick.
Tracks are running out. There's a lot of tracks coming out now for Bulldog. And Alliance says, this is our time. This is our place. Let's take that damn Aegis. And they're going to do it. Roche about to fall. Ake dropping low. Loda's going to get the Aegis, but have they lost the fight already? We'll have to see how. BKB up, but no ult. He's melting. RP's in. It looks pretty good. Triple kill for Banana, the Enchantress, the secret hero. They got the Aegis. Now, though, if they don't get any kills, they've lost it, and they've given up 3. They bought back on their Timber Saw. And that's a hero with Bloodstone who bought back, so that's a huge waste for him.
That was the best fight they could have actually asked for. Tongfu on a full retreat. Let's see how many they will lose. Tongfu Banana still somewhat slow. S4, of course. Chakram does apply slow. Can he get there?
There's a track. There's a Shuriken. He can't TP now. If he does, Shuriken is going to stop it. Bulldog throws it out, gets the kill.
Moo!
He could have just ran with his team, but just ran the other direction, wanted to farm that wave, and when you see the S4 buyback, really should retreat out.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, King J. Off lane Magnus was level 1 when Bulldog's Bounty Hunter was level 5. And now with RP on cooldown Alliance, I think they're feeling like they have to fight. They just built back on S4. They know if RP cools
They just
down.
lost their Aegis as well.
Yeah, like if they wait though, then RP's back up. How do they go high ground then?
Oh, the sun goes on Loda here. No bash
Blink
just
skewer?
yet.
No blink skewer.
And nothing just
Oh,
yet.
there's the swarm on King J. Can't
Yeah.
blink.
I mean, at this point, I think Tongfu is absolutely fine. They have buyback on their Queen of Pain, but they're not using it. They're saying, you know what? We could make this defend S4. We have the better late game. We just made S4 buyback, so those items not going to come in. Look at S4 playing it right now,
Going
but no
pretty
buyback
hard,
just
but
yet.
Loda caught. No, whole time lapse out immediately.
That's a buyback being forced out. I think that's exactly what Alliance was looking for. We will force
They've
a
got to
buyback.
purge though. They've got to purge. There's
mean,
an
he's-
S4 Timber Chain.
He's Timbersaw. You're never going to kill him.
YOLO swag, MLG 420.
I mean-
Blaze it. Is
I mean,
that
look at how aggressive he's playing. He's just going right in to force out the buyback from the Queen of Pain, and then they back off. That's all they look for, and they got that. So I think Tongfu getting somewhat baited.
now Mu heading towards the top rune. Alliance back into the jungle. Overall, they did force out the buyback, but I like if I'm a Tongfu fan, I'm a lot happier than if I'm a Alliance fan.
Oh, yeah.
Over the way like the last 5 to 10 minutes have gone, because sure Mu bought back, but your Alk's getting to that point where he kills everyone. They have no demonic purge on their side. They have no RP on their side. They have overgrowth. That is the only way to lock Hao down for any period of time in a team fight. He's about to have an Abyssal Blade. Soon he'll have buyback. He's getting to that point where any hero that he gets in range of just instantly dies to permabash, to right clicks. And remember, they still have RP on their side. The Aegis by Alliance turned out to be nothing. Sure, it's a nice pickoff for Alliance. They forced out a buyback. But overall, Tongfu, strategically, this is their game right now. Alliance have no way to break high ground. Alliance are all about the gank. Their 5-man isn't the strongest. The ganks haven't been there. It's 17-11. The team with the Bounty Hunters less kills. Basically, Tongfu should win if they play it right. But Alliance has a way of forcing mistakes.
I mean, sure, you could say that Alliance can force mistake, but there's really nothing out there. You don't have an EGM Shackle Shot that comes straight and hits 2 and you win a team fight. You don't have an S4 RP and just suddenly gets 4 and you win a team fight off that. There's nothing. Like, unless, I guess, Tree gets a Blink Dagger and initiate with a Blink Overgrowth.
That's so underwhelming.
That's so bad because there's, like, BKBs up the wazoo on Tongfu. So there's just actually nothing that Alliance can do to force a Tongfu mistake. It's so hard for these guys to make a mistake. And so far, they haven't been making it. I guess you could call the buyback from a Queen of Pain the
I
mistake.
mean, they had the miss skewer early game. They had the miss quapple. I think that's pretty much it.
That's like the individual misclicks, right? They haven't strategically made a mistake.
No
Yeah.
team mistakes, no strategic errors.
Yep. And now if you look at the entire Alliance team, they're scared. And of course, let's compare late game. On one side, you have a Weaver, which can in theory get big. He's probably one of the scariest Divine holder there is because he's so hard to kill. He's got BKB Lincolns. In theory, he can be going for it.
Here's the problem, though. One team has RP. So no matter
yeah.
how the enemy carry,
Yeah,
no matter how big Loda gets, if he gets Blink RP, the fight's over and it's lost. Because they have no Shadow Demon, they have no way to keep him safe. And if he gets RP, that means almost certainly Alk is just right-clicking him and he will die within 5 seconds.
Bloodstone Suicide Heal, bro.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. Maybe S4. Oh my god.
He doesn't have enough charges to make that
the
work.
heal is based on how many charges you have then. So, yeah, you're right. 30 HP per charge.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if you're Alliance, though, like, Subterfuge is your ally here. You have to be sneaky, outthink your opponents, outmaneuver them.
Yeah.
They'll go for it now with the smoke gang.
And Tongfu, constant vigilance. They are spread out right now.
They're a
And
little
they,
spread out, though. This might be a lapse in that vigilance. Here comes the fight. Bulldog into the fray. King J in the front lines. He blinks to one direction. Now Hao duking it out, but he's getting plinked away by Loda. Dropping fast, dropping hard. RP from King J. Is it in time? It's close. Is it close enough? It's not. They've lost 3. Oh, no. They've lost 2. Now buybacks from both. They're going to lose more, though. Banana on the run. Banana, Ghost Scepter up or not. He's in trouble. Chakram's in. The Alliance, where there's a will, there's a way. A great smoke gank. Tongfu caught with their pants down there. They do buy back massively, and they might hold the high ground. But remember, RP's cooling down, and now Loda's got a Daedalus and 3k gold. If you're Alliance, you go big, you go home. It's time to force the wreck.
yeah, Alliance is just so tanked. They just waited out the BKB. Hao needs lifesteal. He needs flat. He needs something from his team. They are blowing up every single creep wave, so Alliance just can't get up to the high ground. But we force out double buyback from the enemy team. Enchantress so dead for dirty. This is a great opportunity for Alliance to make something happen.
It was actually triple buyback. I didn't. Oh no, sorry, quad buyback earlier. You're right, double buyback.
Double buyback here, and Quap trying his best to defend. And there's a Desolator doing a lot of work. defending this tower.
If any of these cores on Tongfu die, though, this fight's over because they don't have buybacks now. And there's a stun. It does catch EGM. One dead. Now they're going to duke it out. Hal comes right in. Slap chopping Loda. Boy, does he melt. Now Ake on the run. Skewered, and this is why you hate playing against this kind of a lineup late game. So hard to go high ground.
Sick play here. Timbersaw breaks these trees with Chakram, hooks to the high ground.
But
Great
Moo's
escape.
still hunting.
No, Moo, go back, my friend. You don't make that play because when your BKB goes out, you dead, bro.
Oh, he's going to find a regen.
All right, good.
Totally worth it for a BKB charge. He's actually got Shivas, and they might corner S4. He's caged, but if anyone can find a way out, it's probably a guy who's got a gigantic set of pointy tools. S4, Timber Chain one way. Now he hits a Scream. Shivas as well, dropping pretty fast. If S4 goes down, that's a 4-hero wipe. Basically everyone down. He's going to fall. 4 hit the deck. That was without RP, Luby.
I mean, was that worth the kill killing S4 or going for a tier 2? Or in fact, I guess you go for tier 4.
They'll get both.
Get
here,
both?
maybe.
Yeah, Loda's dead for 40
Just remember, though, if they overextend and they die again, that might be game. Because
Yeah.
Alliance can go right back down mid, and with Loda this farm, that's racks.
They push very quickly here, but Hao pushes pretty quickly himself because he is going hard on that tower. I'd like to see you to pick up an item right now, perhaps a Reaver, because you bought back, you might as well spend your gold anyways.
I do want to mention we haven't seen a Suicide Bloodstone this game.
We have not? Or at all in this tournament.
I feel like it's, at least for me, I like always forget about that, even when I read about it and like, oh, that's a cool change in the patch. But I think I've seen one in competitive play. Seems like everyone forgets about it.
Well, maybe he thought that...
Or wants to save it for a better moment. But
It
like,
does
the thing
have
is,
a-
like, you save it and then you just end up never using it.
It does have a very long cooldown. And when
That's
you're
true.
when you're suiciding just to deny like 200 gold at this stage of the game, perhaps
Maybe not worth it.
maybe healing Loda in that one team fight.
This isn't important. This is just me as a random aside, and
Yeah.
we digress. We digress.
So before the next team fight, what needs to happen is that either Alchemist picks up lifesteal for himself, or we have somebody pick up lifesteal for him because
Well, it's not going to be Mag, because Mag's going BKB. Sangsheng could almost buy Alliance. Can't quite, though.
yeah, I
No,
mean,
he goes Ghost Scepter, so they have no lifesteal for him.
yeah, we saw how he was actually doing a ton of damage just chopping people away, but at the same time, once his BKB ended, S4 just made short work of him.
If he has lifesteal, though, he can just go toe-to-toe with S4.
Oh, he go toe-to-toe 1v4 if he has lifesteal.
Because
like,
they have no stunts.
yeah.
Well, I guess they have Frostbite. They can kite him, but...
So my question is, if you're Alchemist, if you're Hao, what is your item you're looking for? Are you looking for maybe a butterfly, satanic?
I think
Heart.
you get your bots here, because you want to be able to have an item slot freed up, first of all. You don't want to be running around with no TP scroll. And then, after that, yeah, maybe butterfly. I mean, he could go satanic. Does Loda has no MKB, Loda's not going for one, so Butterfly could be pretty good. I don't know if he needs attack speed, though. Like, sure, the evasion's okay, but I guess they don't have a scythe. Yeah, maybe Butterfly. Maybe Butterfly.
Yeah.
I think Butterfly or Satanic here.
I personally like the Satanic a little bit more because a big component of Alliance's damage is pure damage coming out from Timbersaw.
So HP helps.
yeah, HP helps. The evasion doesn't help as much.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think Satanic is probably the best. And they're going to take a tier 2 tower for free. I think at this point, I don't think Alliance is going to make a big defense for that particular tower.
So the tier 2 falls top, and Tongfu will look to smoke up and potentially force a fight. Alliance should be very hesitant to defend this tower, because losing a big fight this close to your base for a tier 2 top that hardly even matters could cost them racks.
At the same time, though, if they win a fight, there is no buyback. So they should take
Minute
fights.
and a half.
Yeah, they should take fights such that before the buyback cooldown comes back on how
There's
is working
overgrowth
on it.
on EGM. He's trying to be a ninja, but trees are very clunky and very awkward. And here they go. On to Bulldog. There is a target. He's going to land the stun. Acid spray deployed. Just keep an eye on the RP from King J. Jumps in. Nails two, but he hasn't caught Loda. Loda's right-clicking. He gets slap chop, but now the overgrowth and how just explodes. They did an RP Loda, and now he's going to be the king. The king of the north is on the hunt. Sangchun in trouble.
No
They're
buyback.
Jumping forward. No buyback. Galcom is dead for 90 seconds, 60 of those without buyback. Gem to fall as well. King J, he caught two, but he did not catch Loda.
Banana up top without a teleport scroll. He's just zoning and baiting time. I mean, space created, right? But this is not the correct space.
This is it's a nice little play, but yeah, still gonna die to the creeps here.
And
They need to RP Weaver. If they RP Weaver, they win that fight.
if you Loda, do you go YOLO and get the racks, or do you get Aegis? Because I don't think getting the Aegis wins you the game. Conversely, I don't think getting a 1 racks wins you the game either.
It's so close to the buybacks, though, that I don't know if they actually wrote them down. They may think buybacks
I
up
mean,
anyway.
this is TI3. Do you
There's
write down buyback timer?
There's no Eternal Envy on this team. Who's gonna write that timer down?
Eternal Envy play on this team before. You better be damn sure that you all write down timers. But Aegis and trees.
Where's Ii-sama when no Tidehunter needs him?
Actually, this Aegis is absolutely huge because we saw they will only actually kill Loda when he has the when they have the RP. And they can't kill him twice. You know what? The next item that Alchemist has to get, he has to get a Manta Style. You have to
For the overgrowth.
Yeah, you have to debuff yourself outside of the overgrowth, or else you just die.
It's a pretty good item on Alk anyway, because the move speed helps you. It used to be kind of core for your old school Alk, a great sieging item, a great pushing item in general.
They need Vlads on King J, and they need Manta on Alchemist. No
Yeah, I
questions
mean,
asked.
maybe the Shadow Demon could get it. Sungshung does have a Ghost Scepter, so you could live for a while if Timbersaw's not on him, but yeah.
I mean, these team fights are decided in
you're right,
seconds,
though.
right? Yeah.
And we saw what happened to Hao. If he isn't right-clicking and blocking Loda down, he's dying in 3 crits. 3 hits, maybe. 1 crit and 2 hits. I don't know. He died really fast.
Yeah. I mean, those crits are coming fast and strong from Loda, and I think Loda sends blood in the water, saying, we have Aegis, we have Cheese, let's win.
It's an absolute nail-biting pace to this game. 53 minutes in, the Alliance are pushing for high ground. They've got Aegis, they've got Cheese, and they want to try and take it now. Tongfu on the defensive. King J caught by the Swarm, cannot blink for now. They've jumped on a Bulldog,
Nice pick
out
off.
of position, Gem down as well. S4 retreating out, Imp comes through. Doesn't have to cheese, but Hao says, I think we want to force this one, guys. I don't know if they do, though.
They don't. Just make sure you get
You
the
killed
defense.
off the Bulldog. That ends the push. The Aegis timer will now start to tick down, and yeah, you probably played safe.
Yeah, Tongfu needs go right now. They still need the Vlad. I think that's the most important item pickup. You do see the Alchemist has the point ultimate orb, so he is definitely going for Manta Style. Unless he goes something crazy like Scotty.
Could he be going Lincoln's? I think Lincoln's blocks overgrowth as well. I guess there's more ways to remove it,
I don't
though.
think it does, actually.
Purge said that yesterday. I'm not sure if that's true, but
Well,
either way.
rescue us.
Probably Manta. Probably Manta. I think Manta's the safer choice anyway. It's a better DPS item. Gives them a move speed, which helps you chase. And there's a lot of ways to remove Lincolns regardless. There's Track, there's Nova, or the Frostbite. There's plenty of spammable spells.
They see Mu on the bot lane here. Mu, gotta be somewhat careful. Meanwhile, Tongfu is just farming as a team. The smoke gank previously in the fight over here, it was fairly effective if you remember this one. And I think Alliance, they should have a couple of smoke left in their shop. Let me quickly check out. Yeah, they definitely have a couple left. That's something that they can consider. But again, in a long drawn-out game like that, Loda is hurting for quite a bit. But he is almost peaking out. He's got 5k and the slot for the Aegis.
The only items they can really get that I think matter right now are Scythe of Ice on S4 and I guess Loda one more item if he loses Aegis. But I think if they lose Aegis, they might be just losing the game off of that.
Yep, there's a Manta Style finish on Alk.
Yeah, I mean, you pointed it out, and I think it really is such a good choice on this game. But he still doesn't have lifesteal. I mean, you're 54 minutes in. If they had a Vlad's on the Magnus, he probably can't go for one here because he has to save for buyback. But if they had a Vlad's on someone who can live even for like 5 seconds,
That's
that
enough.
just might
the
just
fight's
win
over.
you the game.
Yeah, the fight's over after 5 seconds. If Alchemist could right-click and not die.
Because we always, casters, I guess people have pointed out, tend to talk more about carry item selections because carries make more item selections, they make the bigger ones, but Vlad's, those support items can often make the difference.
You got a support player on your side, man. I got
Yeah.
you.
Carry me, LD, says Lumi. I'm trying, Lumi. I'm trying. I'm feeding, though. I ain't no Loda. Here we go. They're pushing the middle lane. Tongfu defending for all they're worth. Alliance trying to beat down the front door, but they've got a rather weak battering ram to do it with. They disrupt Loda. Uh-oh. Look for the stun. It's coming through now. It's a long-range stun, remember?
They actually can't go on Loda because he's got 3 lives right now.
Yeah, but they're in no hurry here. I mean, they're blowing Loda up. The tower still has glyph available. They're just biding their time, and Alliance, they have to do more than...
That's the weakness of Timbersaw. He just doesn't actually go up high ground that well. But Loda, they can't just dump everything on him. He's got the Aegis. He's got his second life, obviously. And then if he dies, he could buy back and time-lapse back in the fight if that's what he's looking for. So in theory, he's got 3 lives.
Look for those RTZ plays. Here comes an Alk stun. It will be blocked by the Lincolns once again. They do keep on breaking it, though. Loda cannot rely on his Lincolns too much in these fights. Positioning crucial for him. If they manage to, say, blink skewer him and don't blow an RP on him, then I think Alliance just loses the fight. So keep an eye out for that as well.
I mean, I don't know if you want to make that play for King J.
That's very risky.
It is. Oh, he's thinking about it. He gets track up. The swarm goes on him.
I like the fact that he's even threatening to do it because it should put a little more fear in Loda. And now the Imps are also doing a lot of damage. Alk stun's going to follow him through the time-lapse. The disruption's in. The tower's not dropping, Lumi. I mean, this thing is just not dropping. They still have Glyph online. Tongfu holds so far.
And
Alliance are going to have to force this more.
Those Desolator illusions with crits are just doing us so much work.
Aegis ticking down. Once this Aegis expires, the Tongfu just say, okay, now we go and win.
Well, I don't know about that because you'll pass. He's gonna get a big item. It depends on the item selection from Loda. He could buy a 4K gold item and still have buyback. I don't know exactly what you'll get for 4K and have a humongous impact.
Yeah, he's got 3.7k reliable gold now.
Right.
So no matter what.
I think the Talisman Evasion against Hao is probably the best. Although with that said, Mu has Scythe of Ice and that will go through.
Everybody's tracked. I don't think the gold matters. Like or mid game, I think it's a huge difference. But at this point, it's about who wins the fight. Here we go, though. They're lurching forward. They're getting closer. Alliance want to put some pressure out. There's a
Force Staff.
Oh, he tried for the Force Staff initiation.
That's
EGM,
some Ferrari stuff.
trying to muster his inner 430. Couldn't quite get the angle right, though.
Mu says I play against Ferrari all day.
Remember, even if they catch him out, there's still disruption, though.
Butterfly. So they are going to go with Butterfly. The Evasion is going to do it. Queen of Pain does not have Hex right now. Is she going for the Secret Shop to buy it? That's a question.
So he is a Butterfly, and he's actually got 4K. He already had the components on the ground or in his inventory, it looks like.
Okay, so Loda's just he's rich.
Richer than God.
Well,
Who knew there was so much wealth in those cold winterlands?
Tongfu finally makes out of the base under the siege of Alliance. We are still in game 1 of a best 2 series, up to 58 minutes of gameplay, and obviously this game could go either way.
This is such an important game, though, for Tongfu, and I mean even maybe for the other Chinese teams, because everyone talks about, oh, it's really important for the Western teams to see what Alliance did at G1 League, to see what Navi did at the Alienware Cup. For the Chinese teams, I'm sure it'll be very reassuring to them if they see Tongfu takes the game off of Alliance, shows they're not unbeatable, and then truly ushers in the age of parity for the rest of the tournament.
I mean, it's so scary to go into group stage or main event to face against a 14-0 team versus a 13-1 team.
Especially a team like the Alliance, who not only is 14-0 in this event, but already did it undefeated at a lot of previous tournaments.
Right. I mean, you just don't want to be afraid of a team when you go up against them in much later on. Alliance, though.
For the time being, Alliance backs off. Ultimately, they are on the dire side. They should have that Roche advantage. Loda's going to have buyback and massive inventory. Tongfu, if they go for those next items, could get caught without buyback. I still like Tongfu's position a bit better because of their lineup, but I mean, they got to catch Loda, and that's getting tough because he's got so many items. His position has been really good in these fights.
I mean, if you RP Hex him, he's
they,
dead, right?
Oh, they have the Hex now. That's
Yeah.
actually a great point.
Yeah, Mu has that Hex for the
So you could
evasion.
Orchid him, that's instant, Hex him immediately after, and then maybe you just kill him. Are they going to force this? Is it time for them to go 5-man? Do they not allow Roche to respawn?
There is 2 Javelin purchase. I have no clue what there's. I guess he's dishing out Shadow Blade for a MKB.
Does he need this? This move speed's pretty important, though. And, I mean...
Well, no, I mean, if you think about it, if they're winning a team fight, it's through King J, landing a 3-man RP,
That's
2-man
true.
RP, and then nobody's moving, so he's just right-clicking away.
At the same time, though, there isn't a gem on Alliance, and his ability to initiate is still great without the gem. So they can have sentries everywhere. Most important places, probably, but... It's
Well,
close, man.
The other huge item pickup is that there is a Scythe of Ice up on Timbersaw, and that is a huge one because there is actually no real stun coming out. We talked about the Mantis out allowing the Alchemist to keep on
Oh,
right-clicking.
Sang Sheng, I don't think he should be up this far, but... Oh, he's got some backup, I guess.
Yeah.
The thing, though, is there is always disruption, whereas Alliance doesn't have it. So I think Scythe means a lot more to Tongfu.
Uh-oh, Mu.
But Mu. Blinking south as well. Okay.
He should be okay. He should be okay.
Yeah, a little bit close. I feel like Tongfu isn't quite respecting the Alliance's ability to find pickoffs enough.
Well, they definitely should have
They're
noticed that there's a Scythe.
like they're dancing with danger, considering that King J's all the way back at the well. Mu, I mean, just running off, trotting off on his own in the river. They've got to be really careful.
I mean, right now it is very important to get the creep equilibrium where you want it to be. So for Tongfu, they want the creep equilibrium like right outside the base, and same thing here for Alliance on the other opposite end. Because if you have to deal with the creep equilibrium when the Roshan spawns, that's not what you want to be. So that's why both teams are all in the middle of the map jockeying for positions.
Also, the creeps just give you a lot of vision in their own right as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you see all the spaces where they're not, you have a better idea of where they are. And with a gem, the smokes are less likely to surprise you.
Well,
so.
there's an MKB and Alchemist. I really think he should have got Boots of Travel first, though. Because, for example, he could be a top right now pushing this lane and then BLTing back
Here's
in.
your
But
smoke.
smoke on one side, Alliance, they should have a smoke already on their support as well. They don't. They don't.
Straight down the middle lane. It was Alliance who caught Tongfu before. Roshan's coming soon. Probably the safest spot on the map is right around here, and they're actually going to smoke and head south. There isn't a Alliance Sentry Ward. We'll keep an eye on the Fog of War for both teams. So far, neither has spotted the other. And Tongfu just lurking mid.
I mean, it's somewhat obvious that Tongfu is smoked up. The creep equilibrium on top is
Top's
being
a
dealt
bit
with.
pushed. It's a bit pushed, but I mean,
Uh-oh.
Tongfu, they've got the high ground position now. Alliance walking up the hill. King J will scout out EGM, and both teams choose to play it safe and back off. Alliance.
BOT.
Here they go. Banana's jumping in. He sees Ake and he wants to try and force something out. He gets tracked. They're backing off.
That creep wave on top is huge. They can't ignore it.
No BOTs.
Oh, Moo, this is a smart play.
Going straight down the middle lane, and
Yep.
now Alliance has to back. If they go for Roche here and they lose Rex, I don't know. It could be really bad. Now Loda says, okay, we're going to come and fight you. He's got an AC recipe as well. He's abandoned his boots. I love this choice because you don't need boots.
Banana!
Three
Oh
shot
my
in,
god!
dropping fast, gets the Ghost Scepter off. Now Loda on the run, Scythe up, Moo jumping in, BKB's there as well. King J, he can't RP this. He's caught out, he's Scythed up, he's gonna go down and RP, and his fleeing moments won't come out. He bites the dust, and now it's all falling apart. Moo and Hao trying to duke it out, but without RP, Loda is just gonna run him down. Hao continue to retreat out. The buyback on the mag, the Quap as well. 2 more buybacks forced out by Tongfu. The Sworn preventing the RP there from King J, and then run down, Scythed up, and now Bulldog. Well, he's chasing forward. Banana very cautiously will retreat out. They just can't fight this. They do have RP though. They have RP, but if they die again, that's game.
Yeah, also throughout all of that, the top tier 3 tower has taken about 1,000 of damage. So it's something that they have to be keeping on the back of the mind. The backdoor is always a possibility at this stage. Tongfu drops 1 team fight, but good recovery on all of the buybacks. So the game is not lost just yet, but AC is now out on Loda.
It's a nail biter. 25-20, 63 minutes in. Alliance has been having the better fights lately, but Tongfu, all they need is 1 RP.
Well,
King J, it's up to him. They're going for a side swipe here. Loda and EGM to the top. Moo towards the is leading the charge there. And now for the backside comes S4. The fight's going to break out. They slap and chop on EGM. House focusing the tree during this fight. King J looking for an RP. He's BKB'd. He finds both carries. This could be bad. Loda to fall. Bulldog in trouble. And still Hao going strong. 1 more bash. He gets Bulldog as well. That's a few down. It's a double buyback from the Alliance. S4 to fall as well. He pops the cheese. Still on the run. Remember, Loda bought back. If he runs right back in and dies, that's game the other way.
Good retreat from Tongfu.
RP's on cooldown now, though. So are the BKBs. Tongfu might have to back off.
I mean, now with all the kind of buybacks on cooldown, with all the spells on cooldown, who has the Roshan advantage? I'm not really sure. Meanwhile, big power creeps going on the bot here as we have... That's 2 siege units.
Scythe on Hao. They know RP's down. They want to fight now, but there's a Scythe the other way. They just need to lock down Loda. Hao's focusing him. He gets the bash. He gets the kill. Loda's dead. 3 dead on the other side. Can Hao fight his way out? 2 hits. Down goes the Crystal Maiden. Almost dead is the Timber Saw, and everyone on the run. Does Hao just racks them now? Can they stop this?
I
There's
don't
no
know.
Loda.
I don't know. I think he can. He's going to probably go for the safe play here for the Roshan. I really think you go for the racks right now. If you look at the bot lane here, yeah, somebody's going to be forced to TP back. That's Shansheng. How? Just make the big play. Go for the big... No, Crystal Maiden buys back. Who cares about the CM?
No, remember,
go,
there
Hao.
is no Weaver here for 80 seconds.
They were
That's 70
wasting time.
seconds
They
now.
were wasting so much time.
Little bit indecisive from Tongfu. The Alliance, I mean, they've got that cool, calm, collected outlook. They've been here before in those big moments on land, in the spotlight. Can they finish it? They're actually going for the roast themselves. Bulldog into the pit. There is a track on the house, so if they go for it, it won't be a surprise. And it looks like Tongfu are going to back off the ledge. They went to the brink, and they decide they don't like the look, and they'll back off. They're going to play it safer. They'll have their Queen of Pain and their mag up around the time the Weaver respawns. We are about 3 minutes away from any core hero having a buyback. So, again, multiple deaths could decide this game. Here comes the initiation. They've caught up Sangsheng. Hao channeling the stun. It's only going to catch S4, and he's up on the high ground. Hao in trouble. Overgrowth there. Banana caught on the low ground. Dropping fast. He'll take a spill. 3 dead. No Magnus buyback. No Enchantress buyback available. And the Queen of Pain, no buyback. 3 heroes dead that really need to be able to get back into this.
Tongfu is just too scared. They are just way too scared.
Or sorry, I said Magnus. I meant Shadow Demon. Magnus already respawned, but they have RP. They've I mean,
they're
getting kited. They're just getting outmaneuvered.
No, there was
in this
80
fight.
seconds without Loda, and they just stood around the pit not thinking about going in, because by that time, only Admiral Bulldog as well as S4 was alive, and no way in hell the 2 of them could take the Hao by himself. I mean, he even had Enchantress support, so...
Now they've given away an Aegis. Granted, it is to the Bounty Hunter, not the most important hero,
I mean, they are focusing Bounty Hunter in the beginning
the
of these
big thing
fights.
to me is also that they're focusing the Weaver. But, I mean, the big thing to me is that they're not getting it for themselves, and they don't have buybacks.
Yeah. Also, the more important thing to point out is that S4, by the way, has been playing out of his mind. Every single team fight, he isolates King J with Chakram, Timber Chain. That Blink Dagger never actually gets off, so That's why Lotus being able to stay alive for that long. And now with this Aegis cheese, they're going to be going for a push, I think.
You still really have to question pushing, though. Like, you can't just feel confident to go high ground. There's RP, there's cleave on Alk. This could go on, Lumi. This could honestly go on for 30 minutes.
Well, one thing that I have to mention is that Alchemist has switched BKB. He's up to a 9-second one. He got a 10-second one.
I noticed
before.
this was 8 earlier, and I was like, wait a second. Yeah, you're right, new BKB.
New BKB.
And still 7k.
And he really should get a Bucha Travel right now. There is actually no reason not to do it.
There's no reason.
I mean,
Actually, none.
Do you want to move faster with phase?
I guess that's... No, you need boots. Boots of travel are too important at this stage of the game. Any move speed in team fights is nice, but like you said, if they don't hit a big RP, they're not winning the fight anyway. So you count on King J, you trust him, and you go for
they won
boots
that
travel.
fight when King J didn't hit the RP till much later, right? So he was actually chasing Crystal
They won
Maiden
that.
around.
No, they won that fight with buybacks though, not with the initial engagement.
Well, the Equilibrium is going towards Tongfu, or going towards Alliance side for once, and Tongfu could make something happen. You could, for example, backstab with a smoke. They're not really doing it. It seems like they're unsure of what to do. This is kind of like a...
You know what I'm actually starting to wonder about is the game going to start breaking again?
No,
Did Valve fix that?
No. I mean, I don't think Valve fixed that, but I don't think this game will go that long.
I actually really hope that it does. For all of you who are new to Dota 2, the game gets a little weird around like that 85 to 90 minute mark. I know Zoid, one of the programmers, was trying to fix it, or at least they were looking into it. I actually hope they did it, because cauldrons of fire start to erupt from the earth. The hellfire rains down from the skies. You have lightning all over the place. Things get a little weird when the game gets late, but we're not quite there yet. Now 68 minutes in.
I think both teams
Getting
are just too good and too clutch. If they sense a big enough mistake, the game will just end right there. There's too much damage on the map. I think what Hao's actually doing right now, saving for 8k go, is the fact that he will die, he will buy back, sell phase boots, and Bucha Travel back into the fight.
So he'll have phase boots in the first engagement,
right,
which is maybe a little bit more useful.
I'm not sure if that's like even a next level bait, because if the enemy team sees the fact that you have Bucha Travel, they know you have buyback. They know you're going to have a second life.
Yeah, they probably know he does anyway, but maybe, just maybe, their concentration has slipped. Any small psychological advantage could be the difference.
Well, the Equilibrium back in the mid lane towards the side of Tongfu. I think we've seen this before, right? Didn't we see this like 20 minutes ago?
Yeah, this was actually that last back and forth yo-yo. It was 4 or 5 minutes while the Aegis counted down, and we're at it again. There's a cheese up on EGM. Everybody that really matters is running out of slots to actually use the Aegis or the cheese. So this is that funny point in the game where you give it to your bounty hunter, who's probably not doing much in the fights besides throwing out track. You give your cheese to your triad, who's a walking Vlad.
Bounty hunter is a basher. Like, that could matter against Hao somewhere down the line.
Maybe, but remember, Hao's got, I mean...
No, if you bash him and he's not attacking your Weaver.
Yeah, that's true.
That actually matters. By the way, Loda for a long time has not been having boots.
Chances of Hao getting 10 bashes are probably greater than Bounty Hunter getting 1, though. Because of how fast he attacks.
He has Manta. You know, he has an empty drum.
We'll see. Moo's leaving this base. Is he serious? Moo's just wandering out into the jungle on his lonesome. I mean, they have no vision. Like,
Moo is making a very good impression of Yamate.
Just a casual stroll through the jungle. Hopefully Alliance isn't waiting for me. It's only 70 minutes in against an undefeated team. Okay, he's
got buyback.
I don't know about that, man. His team is just sitting in the base. Like, they don't have Pit Lord or anything. There's no way to just jump that.
Speaking of Pit Lord, How also want to be team backdoor right now up top with Pit Lord.
Now they're back to defending. There's still a glyph up for Tongfu. Buybacks are up on all the cores for both teams, except there's no Magnus buyback. That's the one that's not up right now.
Yeah, he should stay back and not get caught. It's a lot easier to get caught outside the base by...
The 4-step initiation! He just got 430! Now they sight them, but he gets 4-step back the other way.
Right,
damn it. I really want to see that win a game again, though. That was so amazing.
430, if for those of you guys who don't count it, has initiated the enemy with a 4-step, pushing them towards you, and then pick them off, go for the win. But this time, Mu has buyback. He has defensive 4-staff. They also, by the way, have Ghost Scepters up the wazoo, so Loda effectiveness is not that high. But to be honest, if you kill Hao, the game's over.
Blade Mail's there. By the way, I like the Blade Mail in S4 because, well, normally the BKBs are running low, but I guess for the Alk it's not, which is the main one. It's still cute, though.
Enchantress steals Illusion. Yeah, none of that cheeky Illusion killer.
Manta sieging shenanigans.
I mean, they will defend for 3 more minutes. They will hold on, and I don't think Alliance is going to break the base.
The question is if someone gets sloppy. Like, we just saw Mu wander down the middle lane with basically no vision on his team. Aegis is about to be reclaimed, and do they force this fight now? Loda's coming forward. He's feeling a little bit more confident. Scurry's out. Backs off.
I mean, eventually this tower is going to go down, right?
Maybe.
Or staff.
No,
Scythe?
they sight the Vices there on S4. Force step back out the other way.
Didn't we just see that play? Like
For each action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Apparently, that's the laws of Dota. You know, one thing that's worth mentioning is Loda does have the time-lapse buyback, perhaps,
Yeah,
but if he's
yeah.
a little bit slow, he won't have Boots of Travel buyback, because he'll have to drop a huge item to get back into the fight.
Yeah, well, he's going to go for time-lapse buyback. But, I mean, eventually Tongfu's tier 3 is going to fall. It is losing, like, 10 damage, 10 HP every time. Like, this game's not going
I
anywhere.
would not want to win. If I'm Alliance, I would not want to try to win by taking 10 HP off the tower, because, again, all it takes is one momentary slip, and then you get RP'd, and you just probably lose the game.
I think what Tongfu is waiting for right now, Aegis is gone, by the way, so that's already a clear sign to go if they want to go. They want to have King J
Force
buyback.
staff again. Move blinking out.
They want to have King J buyback. If King J has the buyback,
You think they force this fight?
They force a fight.
But remember, he's only got 1 RP. He can buy back. He gets one shot.
Oh,
Now they're going in on S4. This is a Scythe. He drops pretty fast to the stun. The BKBs come out. Now an overgrowth from EGM. He caught 4, but Mansering out immediately is how, and Loda and the rest of Alliance retreat out. Both teams, again.
They have to back now. There's no overgrowth. They shouldn't actually stand for too long.
Yeah, these teams are afraid. They're playing chicken right now, and both teams keep on backing down.
No, Alliance are making a mistake by committing.
The racks. Oh, rather, the tower. The glyph is forced out. I mean, they force out a glyph to get out. That's pretty good. Glyph is an important resource late game. One of the most.
It is. So is overgrowth. I can't believe I'm saying overgrowth is important right now, but this ultimate shuts down Alchemist.
Yeah, and speaking of that, well, he's gotten the Boots of Travel now, and he's got 8k gold. I mean, is there anything that he could buy that would matter? besides what he's got?
Fresh BKBs.
There's only, it's 9 seconds. I don't think that 1 second should matter. If you can't win the fight in 9 seconds, you're not winning in 10.
Right, I mean, he's going to use it a couple more times and then have it for a new one. Literal later
I
on.
would call this a very small victory for Alliance. They've done chip damage to the tower. They forced out a glyph. Nobody died.
Tongfu, why you scared? Why you scared, bro? No overgrowth. And then now it's back up.
You know, imagine if they had a lone druid this game. Imagine if they had anyone who could actually siege properly. This game would have been over 30 minutes
Oh, come
ago.
on. If they had Lone Druid, Tongfu would have been so much richer killing that bear for 300 gold. Let's be honest here.
No, that's only the Chinese bear that feeds. The pandas are the feeders.
I mean, can you imagine this bear coming up the hill and not dying?
The great black bear of America doesn't feed. The brown bear doesn't feed. Only the panda feeds.
I don't know.
What kind of bears do they have in Sweden, by the way?
Polar bears? Is it
Yeah,
called?
the polar bear doesn't
Yeah.
feed. Why has nobody made a polar bear yet? That would sell like hotcakes. Why didn't we make a polar bear? Here they go. Tongfu and Alliance back at it once again. Force step initiation from both teams, but one of them got off an overgrowth. Shadow Demon explodes. Moo drops the ult. It does nothing. There's your RP. Did they catch Loda? They did not. Once again, he dodges it. Now it's up to Al. Hal trying to duke it out with Loda. He doesn't get a bash. He needed one. Now a big ult from Ake. Actually doing real damage here. Hal on the run. Tracked up as well. RP on cooldown. Alliance, have they done it, Lumi? Have they broken the back of Tongfu?
They have. They have. This first lane of Rax will not win the game, but it is pressure. It's ever so slight pressure. And the mistake Tongfu has committed is not going into the tree when Overgrowth is down there waiting for Alliance. They think Alliance will not jump them, and EGM just stuck his big tree up in everybody's faces. Because Force Staff over... I told you, the only way for them to initiate is either blink Overgrowth or force Overgrowth, and they did it 75 minutes in the game.
Did the Shadow Demon push that Treant in? Because I saw both heroes got pushed the opposite direction.
I think so.
So he actually
Simon-
initiated for EGM? Oh, we'd have to watch the replay to tell, but if that's what happened, I mean, man, that's a highlight reel-worthy play.
I mean, it was a good initiation, minus the fact that Mu was not... Like, I thought you're supposed to force him in and scythe immediately, right? What happened to Mu there?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He didn't pop his BKB. He didn't pop his scythe.
I mean, it feels like Tongfu just are very reluctant to take the initiative, right? I mean, we saw after they kill off Loda, he doesn't have buyback. This is maybe 10, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
They could have taken Roche. CM buys back, so what? You don't even need your BKB to just live through the nukes and then go in. And they didn't do anything with it. Now they're going to go for Roche here. They have no RP. It is cooling down soon. Well, this is it for Tongfu. If they lose this fight, this is definitely going to be game. I mean, they could buy back, perhaps, but they won't have RP most likely, and it's going to be very hard from there.
I think that Rax is meaningless. Like, It is pressure
It's
to
the
them.
buybacks?
It's the buybacks. It's
matter.
a lot more important. EGM is scouting things out. He's making the scout 76 minutes in. That's bold.
EGM's
How though?
gonna
If he
scout
gets
out
scythed,
How? How's just chilling in the trees?
How?
Where's the team?
What's going on?
Where's the backup? He already popped Manta. He's getting plinked away by Loda. Where is that friggin' RP? King J gets scythed. No RP for him. Down goes How. He's got a buyback here, but he's got no way back into this fight. King J to fall as well, and Tongfu have just gotten steamrolled. Sangchun on the run. Mu as well. They've bought back on both Magnus as well as Al, but they'll lose another. Shadow Demon gets jammed in. They just got dunked. 3 heroes dead. What was he doing there? Where was the team?
what is going on? Did he just like tap out to Twitter or something? Because
Did they have it? I think they had a gem, but I mean, I don't know. That just seemed like a very weird place to. Let's park our alchemist like as far away from our team as possible.
I mean, Alliance. They haven't got this won yet. That's the thing, though. Like, Tongfu in theory could still win the game.
Yeah.
I think their spirits are somewhat starting to break, though.
I just think Alliance is just making the better decisions, selecting their fights more wisely, and I just don't have confidence in Tongfu. Like, hero-wise, they can still win the game, but just the way they're playing feels like it's Alliance's chance. But here we go. One more fight for Tongfu. BKBs all get popped. Now on to S4. No, he's backing off. How's on the run. His BKB is about to wear off. He hits Loda a few times. There's your RP. Loda in trouble. Quad bolt over the top. They bring him down. Finally, Loda's dead. But now
buyback, he
time lapse in, and he's gonna find the kills. And that's all she wrote. Tongfu, out mind gamed, outplayed, and outmaneuvered, will fall to the Alliance. 78 minutes in,
my
32 to 32, and Alliance keeps their perfect record alive. Barely, but they do it.
I am so disappointed at Tongfu. They had multiple avenues of pushing themselves far ahead. Remember that Roshan fight where they took down Loda? Loda bought back, took him down again. They could have got the Aegis. They could have gone for the Rex. They just walked around the general area, was confused, didn't know what to do. Also, during that mid-engagement where Overgrowth was used, and then they backed off, they had full 60 seconds to make something happen. They're like, let's put on a dumb a little bit.
Tongfu should have. I think they should have won.
This
actually.
game was theirs.
Yeah.
It was theirs, yeah.
Alliance had a horrible lineup to go high ground. They were behind at some points in terms of just their ability to take team fights, but they just made the better decisions. They got caught out less. The buyback by Loda, brilliant selection, not to have any boots, and knowing that he can always time-lapse buyback into the fights. They got repeated Roshans. Tongfu had moments to seize the initiative and didn't. Alliance had moments to seize it, and they did.
Yeah, and what was that Alchemist standing around the Roshan pit by himself? You don't have Avenge. Your SC was
It
nowhere
was a
near.
long game. Mistakes happen, but you got to say, Alliance, less mistakes happen for them. So you've heard from us a lot. Let's hear from Purge and Blitz. Guys, Alliance still 7-0, still undefeated.
Dude, what a game. That was so close. We were seriously enjoying the hell out of that entire thing. Even during the 5-minute down period, that was around the 25-minute mark, we're like, okay, we gotta pay attention. This is like extremely close game, absolutely nail-biting team fights.
Yeah, Alliance is usually the team that puts on the pressure early, but I think with their lineup, they had so little disables and initiates that they were unable to fight, and I really thought that Tongfu was going to win that lineup. They had so many things going for them. They had the RP, like any sort of RP that caught like 3 heroes or caught Weaver was going to win them the game. They had the better late game supports, which is really a big deal too, because they had a Shadow Demon, you know, with the Soul Catcher, as we saw when Loda got disrupted and Soul Catchered. That does so much. The Purge goes through BKB and it slows you. On top of that, you've got an Enchantress that was putting out massive amounts of damage.
Especially mid-game, that was a huge deal. Even against like the tanky Timber Saw, it doesn't matter how much armor you have if it does pure.
Yeah, and it just looked like they were taking the better fights. They had the Alchemist who got 6-slotted so quickly. I thought for sure that this is where Alliance's run came to an end, but better late-game decision-making, and it just felt like Alliance was more willing to risk things. Tongfu was just trying not to lose it, and Alliance was trying to win it.
Yeah,
that
I
was
would
like the
agree
big
with
difference for me.
And how often did they sit there just constantly trying to siege the upper ground? I mean, even if they won a team fight there, it still takes them 25 seconds to walk across the map. And at that point, you've got buybacks and maybe some hero cooldowns and things like that. So, I mean, I think I agree with Lumi. Maybe they should have came from the high ground after the first Overgrowth failed and tried to make a team fight there, because Overgrowth did end up being really useful in a lot of the fights, even just to prevent people from getting in better positions.
Overgrowth was the
yeah.
best spell in the game at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
He
Better
caught
than
like 4 or
RP.
5 heroes every single time with it too.
And it's a huge AoE. It's not that hard to miss, but props to him as well for using it at the right times.
But like Lumi said, I mean, you queue up your Scythe device, you force him in, he doesn't get that off. I mean, we've actually seen teams execute that. Swap with Scythe already queued up. If you have that teamwork and that foresight, you can just kill him.
Yep.
They forced him in, and he just overgrowth. I think they forced him in.
Early game, they did a really good job of prioritizing him, and you actually didn't see any overgrowths early on. They just blew him up every single time. But after that, they're like, we have to kill Loda, we have to kill Loda, we have to kill Loda. And then everything was just used on him, and then EGM was able to just like casually stroll in. And the amount of times that Loda got saved at the last possible second when he got living armored.
Yeah.
And then
that
just
one
time-lapsed.
time top in particular, like
Yeah, there was 2 times at top where I was like, oh man, if that kill had gone that way, like that really could have been like gotten the ball rolling for Tongfu. But I think their lineup was actually better. Tongfu's.
way better. I mean, to
Yeah.
defend, they better 5-man lineup. A lot of those heroes do drop off. Like Timbersaw still had an impact, but if you hit a good RP, Alk just kills him.
To me, this is Alliance experimental game. Like they tried Tree, which is a hero I don't think they have a lot of successes. I'm not even sure they would have picked it before, but
They have been running that S4 Timbersaw tree combo sometimes.
right. But it's not their standard. It's not their EGM Windrunner,
Yeah.
Admiral Bulldog Beer. They had access to all those heroes. It's not your PA. They didn't do their best, and they still beat Tongfu.
Yeah, well, they didn't go with their safest choices.
Yeah. So
They definitely played their best.
yeah, that's true. They didn't go with the best picks. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So Tongfu, they gotta just
At the
man
same-
up.
At the same time, though, I think Tongfu will probably look at this game and say, like, if we made the right decisions, we win this game.
Yes, but you also have to look at it and say, well, what if Alliance plays something more traditional that they normally do? Like,
Yeah.
You give EGM a hero like Windrunner or Rubik, something more active. You give Lone Druid or Admiral Bulldog. I was about to call him Lone Druid.
Same thing.
Something he's more comfortable with, playing Lone Druid or Nature's Prophet, because the Nature's Prophet was available to them in the
Yeah.
first 2, and that's what right now the way that the ban and the pick works with only being able to ban 2 early, it makes it really difficult to completely ban out a team like Alliance. So that
Yeah.
was game 1.
Yeah, no
surprisingly
kidding.
enough.
That was enough for the full set. We're going to be way behind schedule, I believe, by the time the second game ends. But yeah, that was
Seriously.
game 1. Congrats to Alliance for keeping it at 0 losses. So, and can they beat Tongfu a second time? Now, keep in mind, Tongfu as well as Alliance are at the top of the groups. Liquid is up there as well. Liquid is able to 2-0 Tongfu yesterday.
Although I think they just
So-
dropped a game to Rattlesnake, which is really surprising.
So Liquid
Yeah,
did
but they
lose
just
one
got
game.
Ursa Wisp, so game's over.
Okay, so they got Ursa Wisp, and Lumi's just saying China disband right now.
Yeah.
There's so many. Lumi got flamed, I think, once for being like too China fanboy, but now he's like completely gone in the opposite direction. He's like completely abandoning all hope. LD's trying to like salvage things.
Okay, when you play 80-minute game for breakfast every day at China, how do you get out late game when you have the better late team? Tongfu. I don't know.
I like how you complained that IG GG's too early, and now you're complaining that
They had minus 3. It was like 40 minutes in. You still have like 50 more minutes of gameplay. Why are you GG? I am done.
Wow. All right. I need a breather real quick. Game 2 is going to be coming up soon, though. I'm sure the players do. One of Tongfu's players has not joined yet, but we do see our updated standings here, so you guys can check them out. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be live with only Game 2. That's right. The Alliance still undefeated. 7-0. The Swedes are the kings of the group stage thus far. Can they keep that streak alive after this break? We'll find out.